It's Monday, August 10th.
We lost everything. We lost our barn. We lost our paddocks. We lost everything. We lost our dogs. We couldn't get our dogs out in time.
Heartbreak and devastation. The Summerland fire in BC claims the life of an 80-year-old woman and forces hundreds from their homes with just seconds to spare.
I don't think we should be making any concessions.
I don't know. We've already done a lot.
Some Canadians don't have an appetite for any more concessions as negotiators head back to the table in Washington.
We couldn't stand any closer than maybe 40, 50 feet because the heat was so intense.
A large fire burning down a big part of the community of Kendall, Saskatchewan. Stay with us. Saskatchewan, your morning starts right now. .601. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen. Good morning and happy Monday.
Man, the fog, I don't know about other parts of the province, but in Regina specifically, the fog this morning was intense.
Yeah, and we are seeing the worst visibility in Regina right now in the province. So other areas in the south seeing a little bit of fog, but visibility is the worst in Regina. Take care out there.
So August 10th, where did summer go? Does anybody else feel this?
And the temperatures are feeling like fall out there. I hope we get that one last blast of summer. Hey?
Boy, oh boy. Let's get to, speaking of heat, there are more than 100 active wildfires burning across BC this morning, 3 of which started in the last 24 hours alone.
Behavior is rank 5, which is extremely aggressive and volatile. There is spot fires occurring ahead of the fire, and as the fire progresses, it's absorbing those spot fires.
BC declared a state of emergency over the weekend with more than 30,000 people now under evacuation orders or alerts. And BC wildfire officials say there is a high potential for more lightning-caused wildfire starts. Now, particularly in the central interior and Okanagan region. And as the flames spread, more fires start, air quality concerns across BC as well.
You run out of breath a lot quicker. It feels like your lungs can't absorb the oxygen they need. And yeah, I think you can still get out and move for sure and just take it easy and don't go crazy.
Rob's either very orange or very red there. I can't tell. Much of the province remains under air quality warnings, with healthcare professionals advising everyone to avoid spending extra time outside. Organizers canceled a triathlon that was scheduled for Kelowna this past weekend due to smoke, but according to the BC Wildfire Service, the smoke does have a silver lining. It is keeping things slightly cooler on the ground, reducing some wildfire growth and behavior as well. A large fire has burned down a memorable building in a small village in southeastern Saskatchewan, southeast of Regina, rather. This one happened on Saturday afternoon around 2 o'clock in Kendall, Saskatchewan, at a building known to locals as Hunter's Lodge. Momart Fire Department responded to the call. Hunter's Lodge served as a bar in the community in the 70s, but was shut down decades ago.
We couldn't stand any closer than maybe 40, 50 feet because the heat was so intense. And more fire trucks came, and it was a community effort that really helped and kept it under control.
The cause and damage estimate still under investigation. Saskatoon's Bethlehem High School was the site of a major fire Friday. This was all over social media. Jeremy Dodge.
Yeah, Daryl, and according to the Saskatoon Fire Department, the call came into them around 10:30 p.m. Friday. They arrived to find heavy smoke and flames coming from a construction area attached to the school. Look at that. Now, fire crews did enter the building to search for people inside. No injuries have been reported, but for those who were preparing to return to classes in a few weeks, the blaze has created a lot of uncertainty.
I heard the sirens and I was just curious, and then my phone went off and my friends had said the building had caught fire, and it kind of threw me off. So I was looking on social media, seeing videos, and it was devastating. It was shocking.
Now, the school stated there is smoke and water damage in the building, and school officials are in discussions with SFD and emergency personnel regarding what the next steps might look like. A 27-year-old man is dead after a fatal crash that happened early Sunday morning. It was just after 3 a.m. yesterday. Emergency crews on the scene of a single vehicle collision at Highway 16 and Boychuk Drive. The Saskatoon Fire Department said the vehicle had struck an overpass and the car was fully consumed by fire. Traffic restrictions were in place into the afternoon as emergency crews remained on scene. Police say the driver of the vehicle was the only person involved. All right, Daryl, more than 1 million people in eastern China are being evacuated. Daryl, what's going on over there?
It's Typhoon Dolphin making landfall. Friendly name, unfriendly results. Look at this. Heavy rain halted transportation across the region and nearly 1,000 flights have been canceled in Shanghai alone. Authorities have now downgraded Dolphin to a tropical storm, but there is still torrential rain, severe flooding, and the risk of landslides as that storm moves north. Dolphin didn't directly hit the Philippines, but did help intensify seasonal monsoon rains, setting off flooding and landslides in the main northern island region. Now, a landslide buried 3 houses Sunday night and left 5 people dead, and there are others missing. More than 1 million people have been impacted by the heavy monsoon rains and flooding there. A group of First Nations chiefs are hoping to halt the West Coast pipeline. The Union of British Columbia Indian Chiefs is calling on both Ottawa and Alberta's governments to stop the pipeline process, saying it will only accelerate climate change and its impacts. The group also claims Ottawa didn't consult with First Nations in good faith regarding the plan. Many music lovers flocked to Regina's Victoria Park for the first ever Exchange Folk Festival Saturday. Doesn't sound like folk music, does it? The new event, which opened at the noon hour, is a spiritual successor to the Regina Folk Festival, a long-standing local tradition that lasted about 50 years before it shut down and the Exchange took over.
This isn't the Regina Folk Festival, though, right? This is a brand new venture. We're kind of hitting reset. We're trying to reset people's expectations on what the festival experience is going to be, and then we're going to grow it deliberately.
It's important that the community gets out and supports this. I think, they were in the past, but it's a matter of, I think we need to rebuild that community engagement, community building model for this.
In the early hours of the Exchange Folk Festival, Kennedy said that organizers were seeing about 700 to 800 people. This is your chance to stare directly at the sun. Astronomers have taken the most detailed picture yet of the star in our solar system. It shows hot plasma forming swirling in vortex-like patterns. Researchers say the swirls may help explain how energy builds up on the sun. They may have little legs, but these guys can really move.
And Corgis Array in the championship. Good race.
Look at them go. This is the first ever so popular Corgi World Championship. The popular race sees these cute little Corgis dashing 45 meters. This year, the winner was Gustav the Girl Dog, also known as Gigi, taking it in a photo finish. Great day to get out there and walk. Somebody was really committed to naming this dog Gustav, right?
Yes, absolutely.
They're like, oh, it's a girl. Ooh. Oh, well.
Gustav the girl.
Gustav the girl dog.
All right, let's turn our attention outside now. This morning view is brought to you by Stars Lottery. Your ticket funds life-saving care across Saskatchewan. It is a foggy start to the day in Regina. There are also some other patches of fog in areas between Moose Jaw to Assiniboia. If you're traveling on those roads this morning, even Estevan up to Regina or even Weyburn up to Regina, again, on those roads, seeing a little bit of fog. So make sure you're taking some extra precautions out on those roads. It is also a cooler start to the day, 6 degrees right now. That is a couple degrees above our cold spot in the province right now. That's Indian Head, only sitting at 4.1 degrees to start the day. In Saskatoon, it is warmer, 10 degrees right now, not quite at that Saskatchewan hotspot. That's Meadow Lake, sitting at 13.8 degrees to start the day. Mix of sun and cloud and winds coming in at 7 kilometers per hour. Let's take a look at that radar and satellite because, of course, as we know, we did get a little bit of rain in the province yesterday. That was expected. We talked about that system moving through mainly the south. We talked about that on Friday, but now we start to see the southern part of that system. It moved out of the way this morning. We're talking about a little bit more of that rain through central Saskatchewan. There's just that spot right now approaching Prince Albert, but take a look at how this increases into the afternoon. We do see the risk of some thunderstorm activity between Saskatoon and Prince Albert. Also going to be seeing a bit more of that moving through into the overnight hours and into early tomorrow morning. This is at about 3:15 a.m. Seeing it right between Saskatoon and Regina. Regina, we're not so much seeing the rain this afternoon, but could be seeing some overnight and into early tomorrow morning, and then moving away for the afternoon. The areas around Yorkton could be seeing some more tomorrow afternoon, and then Wednesday morning, really early, 3:45, a larger system moving in, impacting southwest Saskatchewan first, starting right around Swift Current with that thunderstorm activity, and then really areas in north, central, and southern Saskatchewan seeing a very broken up system bringing some rain Wednesday afternoon. The numbers today are not high yet. Keep in mind that these numbers can and do frequently change. Right now we're only seeing about 1 millimeter of rain by the end of the day for Saskatoon. Today's forecast, though, below the seasonal average, especially in central Saskatchewan, 22 in Prince Albert, 19 in the Battlefords, 21 in Saskatoon, 23 in Yorkton, 23 in Regina and Moose Jaw, 24 expected for Swift Current, Weyburn and Estevan. We are seeing some more rain in the 5-day forecast, including Wednesday, Thursday and Friday for Regina, and Tuesday, Thursday and Friday for Saskatoon.
Barrick Mining says it has reached an agreement with Newmont on their Nevada joint venture, opening the way for the Canadian company to list its North American assets in New York. Under the agreement announced Monday, Newmont will pay Barrick $1.95 billion as the companies contribute previously excluded properties to the venture, including Barrick's 4 Mile project and Newmont's Fiberline and Mike developments. Barrick also announced Mark Hill as chief executive officer of its planned North American spinoff. A new report says the average national asking rent fell 4% in July compared with last year and now stands at just over $2,000, $2,037. That marks the 22nd consecutive month of year-over-year declines in the average cost being sought by landlords, according to the latest monthly analysis from Rentals.ca and Urban Nation. The asking rents have now fallen 7.5% over the past 2 years. Those are your morning business headlines. For B&M Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
Hi, everyone. Mark Rowe inside the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Sunday. And for that, we're going to go to Philly as the Blue Jays were taking on the Phillies. It was tied in the extras, 11th inning, bases loaded for Luis Arraez, who lines one to Nathan Lucas, who comes up throwing, and he guns out Garrett Stubbs to end the inning. What an incredible throw by Lucas. Unfortunately for the Blue Jays, they'd come up short and lose this one, but Nathan Lucas still earns your must-see moment from Sunday. And tonight on TSN, we've got Toronto Tempo basketball as they take on the Atlanta Dream. Tip-off is at 8 p.m. Eastern across the TSN network. That's all from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
In case you missed it, a man has taken up residence high above the streets of Sunset Boulevard.
I mean, it's a man stuck in a billboard. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy cool.
It's being called the most LA thing ever. A man and his life are on full public display. It's part of an ad campaign for a new Netflix film, The Last House. The ad recreates the central premise of the film, which is about a family that suddenly finds themselves sealed in their home with no way out.
How much are they paying this guy? This seems like a pretty cushy gig.
I don't
Wearing
know.
pajamas and a robe.
Just throwing cards.
Was that an extra sketch?
Method acting, I guess.
He's got stuff to do. What was your last gig? I was a billboard guy.
Cool.
Appears to be his perfect lazy day.
Yeah. We are asking you today to describe your perfect lazy day. Give us a little bit more than just doing nothing. Because for me specifically, it is I wake up with nobody waking me up, if that makes sense.
Best wishes.
Yeah, because I don't
Right.
want, my husband snores really bad, and so my husband usually wakes me up, or my 2-year-old daughter.
Jumps on your face.
So
Yeah.
I wake up when my body naturally wakes me up. I stay in my pajamas all day.
Jeremy, I'm incapable. My family's in Halifax, and I still got so much done yesterday.
Yeah, it takes takes a long time before you do get to wake up on your own, but that's my life now. So weekends are that. Some mixture of coffee in the morning, video games at some point, sitting, scrolling, probably watching some Crave at some point.
Oh, shameless plug.
Yeah. So yeah, just, I mean, it's not too exciting, but I think that's the point, right?
All right, let's throw that QR code up. People can tell us about their perfect lazy day. We'll go live to Mike Siona in just a minute.
They're squishy and in shapes kids love, including animals, food, and characters. But the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission says these pliable toys can put children in danger.
We are getting reports of a serious burn risk in relation to these toys.
This week, the CPSC put out this consumer warning reiterating the hazards after officials say a viral social media trend is encouraging children and teens to microwave squishy toys. The alert says the videos depict the toys expanding, changing texture, or bursting when heated.
No one should feel encouraged to place these toys into a microwave and heat them on purpose. It is extremely dangerous.
The agency says squishy toys in a hot car can also burst and pose a burn risk. And to date, at U.S. ports, officials say they've identified and helped prevent nearly 356,000 fake and counterfeit versions of the toy from entering the U.S. Those toys may not meet federal safety requirements, and since it's unknown what's inside those toys, they say a child could be exposed to chemicals or face inhalation or ingestion hazards. Some of the toys are filled with water beads, which can expand if swallowed and cause serious health problems.
Do not buy unbranded and unmarked versions of these toys. Know the seller, know the brand. Even if they are branded, make sure that nothing in the branding or marketing is misspelled.
For Health Minute, I'm Andy Gaither.
Health Report, brought to you in part by SEIU West, Saskatchewan's first healthcare union.
Now it's time for us to track down Mike Siona. He's got some handy tips to stay safe this summer.
Well, here we are at Parkland Ambulance in Prince Albert with Lyle Karasik. And Lyle, today we're talking about one of those things that really you should not leave home without it. We're not talking about the American Express card. We're talking about a first aid kit, right?
Absolutely, Mike. And whether it's at home, in the car, in the workplace, at the cottage, on the boat, in the ATV, wherever you're going to go, first aid kits come in all kinds of shapes and sizes. We have a commercial one available in front of us today, but something that's simple and easy you can make yourself at home.
And why is it so important? Before we open it up and look at all this stuff in there, why is it so important?
Well, because one of the key things is that you can do so much yourself. Like often, you know, you've got little ones at home. So they cut their finger, we put a simple little Band-Aid on it, all right? But there's certain things that we do at home, whether that's a burn, whether it's a cut, whether it's stuff that, you know, maybe we need special medications or our child has asthma. All the things, we can do a lot of things before we need the paramedics or the hospital emergency room.
Makes a lot of sense. Let's crack this thing open and just to kind of give people a sense, because it's a bunch of really kind of common sense items, but things that if you don't have, you don't have.
Well, absolutely right. This is a commercial kit, so it's well laid out for us. It's got little pouches. It's got everything in kind of a neat little order. But often people say, can I make it myself? And you can. All of us have lots of extra plastic containers of all shapes and sizes that we can put in the basics. Something to control the bleeding, a pair of scissors, and then often some simple medications. Maybe that's something for a fever like a Tylenol. Maybe it's something because your child is allergic to something, so it's a antihistamine of some sort. Or maybe it's some other medications because you always need it and it's ready to go. But putting this under the sink in the kitchen or in the garage or the workshop or wherever, so when the emergency happens, it's easy to get to and it's there, and you're going to use it.
Perfect. All right. Well, we'll see what else goes into it and a couple of other things that might keep you safe as the morning continues.
Thank you very much. We look forward to seeing more throughout the morning.
Time now for a look at our national forecast. 23 degrees with a mix of sun and cloud in Vancouver today. Prince George, 20 degrees with some rain. Edmonton also seeing some rain, chance of thunderstorms. 19 degrees and similar conditions in Calgary with a high of 21. 25 in Winnipeg today with a mix of sun and cloud. As we turn our attention out to the east, Toronto up to 27 degrees today. Ottawa 27 with the risk of some thunderstorms. Montreal similar conditions as well. 27 degrees though. Fredericton 29, mix of sun and cloud. Halifax hot day on tap, 30 degrees, mix of sun and cloud. And St. John's, more cloud cover there today, 15 degrees. As we go to break, here's a look at those gas prices in Regina. Your average price, $163.9. You could find it for as low as $146.9. In Saskatoon, your average price, $161.9, and you could find it for as low as $147.9. In the farm markets today, we find the street price of canola at $727.85 per ton. The futures price, $783.60 per ton. Amber durum wheat now at $272.48 per ton, and red spring wheat at $287.05 per ton. And the Canadian dollar is up this morning. It's now at 71.72 cents US. In just a moment, we'll hear from the senior women's football champions. Stay with us for that.
Welcome back. It is 6:30 on your Monday. Let's get to your headlines. The Saskatchewan government denies an NDP claim that the coal power extension is meant to provide grid capacity for an AI data center near Regina. In a document obtained by the NDP, a Sask Power submission to the rate review panel reads, quote, "The decision to operate coal beyond its regulated end of life has allowed Sask Power to have the ability to accommodate the Bell data center load." The NDP has been critical of an estimated cost of the refurbishment and the data center's approval process. In response, the province said the NDP is misrepresenting evidence and that the provincial grid is planned to meet the needs of the entire province with affordable, reliable baseload power generation, not a single customer. Construction at the 300-megawatt data center is making progress. It is expected to be partially operational in 2027. CTV News, of course, is a division of Bell Media, which is a wholly owned subsidiary of Bell Canada. Saskatoon's fire department was called out to rescue someone stuck in the mud yesterday. They were called out near the intersection of Valley Road and Highway 60, just past the Moon Lake Golf Course, shortly after 1 p.m. They found a person waist deep in the mud hollering for help. CFD says the location was remote, heavily treed and overgrown along with this slough, so they used ladders and various equipment to reach and eventually free that person from the mud. Canadian negotiators back in Washington this week for another round of trade talks. Industry sources tell CTV News Ottawa is considering making some concessions on U.S. autos and American alcohol as well. This is in exchange for the U.S. dropping 50% tariffs set to take effect on the 19th. These new tariffs are coming even though Canada has already made concessions, such as scrapping the digital service tax and lifting some counter tariffs. As trade talks intensify, Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre has written a letter accusing the Prime Minister of caving to U.S. demands. The letter says, in part, quote, "Our message is clear. We want the win and the good deal you promised 15 months ago. Canadians deserve a government that has a backbone to fight for workers, our families, and every inch of our sovereignty," end quote. There are more delays now for Air Canada passengers hoping to head to Dubai or Tel Aviv. The airline is pushing a planned return for both routes. Flights were expected to resume as part of its winter schedule, but the latest travel update shows flights to Dubai International Airport are not restarting until mid-January. The airline is also expected to resume service to Tel Aviv around the same time. Oman and Iran are said to be closing in on a deal to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. We've heard this before, haven't we? Any deal, though, would require the U.S. to meet conditions set by Tehran. They include paying compensation for war damage, lifting sanctions, and ending military threats. The U.S. and Iran are not in direct talks. In an interview with Axios, the president says his administration is low-keying it with Iran while only semi-negotiating. Tehran says it won't talk to the U.S. as long as terms of their interim ceasefire are broken. Those in Regina who had questions or concerns about skin cancer had an opportunity to see a dermatologist in the Walmart East parking lot on Saturday. The Mole Mobile, that's what that thing's called, made its way across Canada, making stops in several places. Regina is one of 3 stops in Saskatchewan. Moose Jaw on Friday is where they were. Organizers say that there were over 60 people signed up online to check in.
A lot of people are coming in concerned that they can't access medical care in a timely way. We have a massive shortage of dermatologists. A recent survey from the Canadian Dermatology Association shows that we need 38 dermatologists in this province, and we currently have about 11 dermatologists. So we are really incredibly underpowered, and we need a lot more dermatologists here in the province.
Mole Mobile organizers have had 160 people sign up for certain spots on their tour so far. Fire officials are once again warning about a rise in lithium-ion battery fires.
Goes into what's called thermal runaway, and that's where very, very quickly that fire will accelerate and grow.
Calgary firefighters responded to 3 battery fires over the span of 24 hours last week. At least 2 of them involved e-scooters and their lithium-ion batteries overheating while charging. People are being told to avoid overcharging their batteries. Devices should be unplugged when they reach the charge level you want. Fire officials want to see stronger oversight on lithium-ion batteries sold in Canada. Some of the batteries sold online don't meet Canadian safety standards. Team Saskatchewan took home gold in the Senior Women's National Football Championship Saturday. With a final score of 24-3, they beat Team Quebec in the final, and a score of 56-0 against an Atlantic team earlier in the week. Safe to say they are happy with their results.
We're lucky that a lot of us have known each other and played against each other for a long time, so it's nice that we have some of that veteran presence to kind of help some of that team bonding. But at the end of the day, we all know that even though we're rivals in our regular league, that we're here for a common goal, and that's to show what Saskatchewan football is all about. So it makes it pretty easy to come together as a squad at the end of the day.
Emma Ray Dale was the defensive player of the game. Chanel Roux taking home the offensive title. The Regina Thunder started the CJFL season red hot.
And he looks, that's knocked up in the air, and it's picked off. The first ball that he throws is intercepted. And the Regina Thunder have incredible field position.
On the road in Edmonton, the Thunder beat the Wildcats 56-1, shutting Edmonton out until the 4th quarter. Regina quarterback Jaden Zalunka threw multiple touchdowns on the day and found wide receiver Tanner Donovel twice in the end zone. The Thunder are on the road against the Calgary Colts next week. The Saskatoon Berries have advanced to the WCBL East Final. The Berries scored 3 runs in the bottom of the 3rd, another in the 6th and 8th to edge the defending champion Regina Red Sox 5-3 in the 3rd and deciding game of that series. They will now face the Moose Jaw Miller Express. That next round starts on Tuesday night, 7 o'clock in Moose Jaw. All right, Kayleen, the cooler temperatures means you might want to wear a little bit of a sweater to one of those baseball games.
Yeah, especially if you are waking up with us in Saskatchewan's cold spot. That is Indian Head, only sitting at about 4.1 degrees to start the day. So yes, it is quite cool in some areas, especially down south. 7 degrees right now to wake you up in Regina. We're still seeing that fog. Make sure you're giving yourself extra time if you're heading out on those roads. Winds, though, very calm to start the day, only coming in at 7 kilometers per hour in both Regina and Saskatoon. Saskatoon, though, just a little bit warmer and a little more clear to start the day at 10 degrees with that mix of sun and cloud. Now, today's wind gusts are going to remain quite low all throughout the province. We're only really seeing those colors coming in that blue shade there, indicating that we're not really seeing winds surpassing 30 kilometers per hour with those gusts in really anywhere in the province today. A bit stronger winds over in Manitoba, Alberta, also seeing quite a calm day in terms of those winds. Current temperatures, as we mentioned, a little bit cooler to start the day, though. Nipawin at 9 degrees, Melfort at 8 degrees, Hudson Bay at 8 degrees, 13 degrees to wake you up in Spiritwood, and 11 in Buffalo Narrows. Down in the south, we already talked about that cold spot, Indian Head, but Weyburn and Moose Jaw also very chilly to start the day, only at 5 degrees. That's below the average for this time of the day. 8 degrees in Assiniboia, 9 degrees in East End, 11 in Swift Current, and 10 degrees in Kindersley. Today's forecast, again, below the seasonal average for into the afternoon as well. 22 in Prince Albert, 20 degrees in the Battlefords, showers with some rain, chance of thunderstorms, 21 in Saskatoon, a little bit of rain on the way. Moose Jaw could be seeing a little bit of that system as well, 23 degrees, 24 in Weyburn with that cloud cover and 23 in Estevan. Let's take a look at that almanac though, because we did say below the seasonal average. By how much? The average in Regina, 26.3. The average in Saskatoon is 25.6. Last year on this day, August 10th, we were also slightly below the seasonal average, but we were just a little bit closer to it than where we are going to be today. Last year in Regina, it was 25.7, and last year in Saskatoon, it was 23.6. Nowhere close to those records today. In Regina, that record was set in 1978 for August 10th. That was 35.4. And in Saskatoon, that record was set in 1984 at 37.7. The 7-day forecast showing some more precipitation as well for Regina. We're expecting that more so on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Friday, temperatures are really taking a dip in Regina, down to a high of about 16 degrees. In Saskatoon, more rain on the way. We're expecting it on Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Wednesday, we are right now seeing a little bit of a break. Again, though, we are seeing temperatures dropping to below 20 on Friday.
The Saskatchewan Roughriders improved to 6-2 on the season on Friday with a win over the Ottawa Red Blacks, doing it without their top two receivers. Donovan Mace with who stepped up.
Dylan Jetty is taking flight.
Completing that one and getting him involved right away. That's Dylan Jetty.
Fitting right in on a Rough Riders offense dealing with a slew of injuries.
I was a playmaker, so I just trying to play football, do what I can do, and just help the team.
The beginnings of Jetty's career have been anything but normal. Drafted 18th overall by the Riders in this spring's CFL draft, he missed the entirety of training camp with an injury he sustained at the Combine. And now recovered, he's been looked at early in his career to make an impact.
Second down and 5 from the 18. That's caught and more! Touchdown! Dylan Jetty!
And that he did, scoring his first CFL touchdown in Friday's win over Ottawa.
It means everything. I mean, like we talked about all this week, I've been preparing myself. I've been going through a lot with the injury, but mentally I was there, and when my opportunity came, I just had to do what I had to do.
Extremely proud of these guys.
Down their top two receivers, Kean Schaefer-Baker and Sam Emelis, along with running back A.J. Ouellette, the Saskatchewan offense is in desperate need of playmakers.
Harris again, caught first down and more. Johnny Johnson.
Jetty, along with rookie Johnny Johnson and former U of R Ram Deshaun Mims, all posting career games in the absence of the Riders' stars.
We've seen this from these guys since training camp for the most part, and then Delane just, coming off an injury, being thrusted into this position.
We believe in those guys, and it's kind of my job as a quarterback to make sure that I get the ball to them at the top of their routes and make sure that I'm delivering the mail at the right time and let them do their thing.
And they may continue to be needed for some time with both KSB and Emelis on the 6-game injured list. Donovan May, CTV News, Regina.
The Crop Development Center at the University of Saskatchewan and Saskatchewan pulse growers are teaming up for some new breeding endeavors in Saskatchewan fields. I'm joined now by Assistant Professor Anna Vargas, and who is also a pulse crop breeder. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming in. I just wanted to kind of touch base and learn a little bit about the Crop Development Center. I mean, U of S, so much incredible research goes on there, and that is the kind of thing that is happening here. So what is it that the CDC is up to? What do they do?
Yeah, I think the CDC is a very unique institution because we are a continuous system. We really have the ability to develop of the foundational research that happens at the Crop Development Center, in the larger network that's in the umbrella that we are under in the Department of Plant Sciences. So we have that ability to develop all the research, but also implement it all the way to large-scale in-farm testing. So at the end of the day, our main mission is to develop varieties. But again, I think we are unique in the sense that we have that beautiful ability to do it all from the foundational research to developing varieties.
And you are particularly suited for this latest project, focusing on lentils and
faba beans.
Yeah.
So you are with the CTC, but you're also a grower yourself. So tell me about this specific avenue that you're going down.
Yeah, so this is a very exciting, I will say, new chapter in a partnership that has happened for 30 years or more. Saskatchewan Pulse Growers has been key in supporting the Crop Development Center in variety development, and this is basically a new chapter in that collaboration. So we recently partnered specifically for lentils and fava beans, and it's really exciting for a program because at the end of the day, we develop varieties for growers, and having their support is really meaningful.
Okay, so what are you hoping this leads to then? You say it's a new chapter. Where does this chapter go?
I hope that it will go to developing great varieties that will really respond to the current needs that growers have. Lentils are facing a lot of challenges currently. I think if we drive anywhere in the province, in Western Canada, really, where lentils are grown, we can see that lentils are facing a lot of root rot diseases and the need for new herbicide tolerance packages and different challenges that we have. So it's our ability to deliver varieties that really, really respond to those needs as growers are having.
That's kind of what breeding is all about, right? Developing crops who are resistant to certain things and accepting of other things, right? To kind of make one, you know, something that really thrives in our climate and on our fields.
Yeah, that's indeed what it is, right? It's just all the work that we do into identifying all those aspects of the crop that will make it better agronomically for growers, but also in the end quality capacity of that pulse has ingredient to it, right? So we grow all the way from growers to processors to make sure that the varieties that we develop really, really respond to what the industry needs.
All right. Exciting things for lentil producers and fava bean producers in Saskatchewan and right across Canada. And it starts here at the U of S and the Crop Development Center. Anna Vargas, thank you so much for a few minutes this morning.
Thank you so much.
Time for your Monday morning weather or not. Today I have a music-themed one for you.
Let's do it.
We're asking you today what singer or singers have referenced the weather the most in their music. Is it Adele, Bob Dylan, Elvis, the Beatles, or the Rolling Stones?
So not the Weather Girls.
You would think.
It's raining men. That's the only one. Jeremy, what do you think?
I don't know. I'm guessing the Rolling Stones have the most music out of these answers. I'm going to go with them.
Beatles got
That's
Here Comes
tough.
the Sun. You know what? Just in honor of my mom, I'm just going to say Elvis. She's a big Elvis person. Let's see what they got.
All right, the answer is B. It's Bob Dylan. Researchers found that 163 of Dylan's 542 songs reference weather. The Beatles came in second, mentioning weather in 48 of their 308 songs.
So Hound Dog's not about the weather. Weird.
It's August 10th, and we have some anniversaries to celebrate today. We'll start off with a big happy anniversary wish going out to Corey and Kelly. We hope you have a wonderful day together with love from your friends and family. And happy anniversary to this awesome couple as well. Marge and Albert have now been married for 63 years. We hope you have a very special day celebrating with lots of love from your whole family.
Milestones, brought to you by Harbor Landing Village, an award-winning senior care and living community in Regina.
If you have a milestone coming up, send us an email to yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca or simply scan that QR code on your screen. Please send those in at least one day in advance.
Oh, Chase, what do you got for us today?
Well, last week we got to call Jennifer up Tell her she's going to Australia for Savannah in the round. This week, brand new trip, brand new contest just started up today, iHeart Experience. And this time we want to send you off to Nashville to see Cameron Whitcomb. We just had him at Country Thunder. What an incredible show he puts on. And now you can see him at one of the most famous, iconic venues of all time, the Ryman Auditorium in Nashville. This is coming up end of September. A trip for two, hotels, flights, $1,000 cash, and of course, tickets to the show. All you need to do, download the iHeartRadio app. Listen to us for 10 consecutive minutes, and you can enter each and every day for the next couple weeks here, and hopefully you're getting that winning phone call afterwards.
He just posted on social media yesterday the full circle moment, getting voted off American Idol and then coming back to perform Kingdom of Fear. It's kind of cool.
It all worked out for him. I think he's going to be okay.
I think he'll be all right.
Bringing it all. Odysseus beats Batman. The Odyssey has raked in $1.1 billion worldwide in less than a month. That pushes it past The Dark Knight Rises as the highest-grossing film ever for its Oscar-winning director, Christopher Nolan. Petal blooms. Ariana Grande's Petal is her 7th #1 album on the Billboard 200. The disc debuted with her best first-week sales since Thank You Next 7 years ago.
Are we ready? Hell yeah.
The musicians we lost the day the music died have been immortalized in Iowa. Statues of Buddy Holly, Richie Valens, and J.P. Richardson, the Big Bopper, were unveiled Friday in Clear Lake. The stars performed at the Surf Ballroom there on February 2nd, 1959, before dying in a plane crash later that night. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
They had all those legends on the screen, and I was looking at the one guy on the bottom who kind of looked vaguely from the side like Hulk Hogan, walking through, giving everybody hugs and high fives. Anybody else seen that? Anybody else see that? The happiest place on earth, unless you were a toddler.
First ride.
What happens when you fall asleep at Disney World on It's a Small World, which is frightening enough because of the soundtrack. This is, coincidentally enough, little baby Aria, not my own, but another, napping in Dad's arms, entered the ride, woke up, boom! Look at all these lights and sounds and everything. Yikes.
And now little Aria gets nightmares for the rest of her life.
Yeah, it's a small world after all.
Okay, well, kids see everything and copy everything you do. We all know that, even when they are playing. It's all fun and games until the smoke alarm goes off. That's how the saying goes, right? This little girl waving a pillow at the alarm just like her mom does while she's playing pretend kitchen.
It's just part of cooking.
Yeah, she obviously sees that this happens a lot in her house.
Yeah. The food is done before that particular timer goes off.
I know that mom is offended.
Just a touch. It tastes just fine. Eat your dinner. That's it for us for this hour. We're going to reset. We got your news headlines on the other side of this break. It's Monday, August 10th.
A lot of the volunteers who are helping with emergency support services are all also impacted. Many of them, like myself, are out of our homes right now.
BC declares a state of emergency as flames from more than 100 wildfires spread quickly.
The price to reopen the strait increases by the day.
Deal to reopen the Strait of Hormuz is said to be close, but it all depends on the U.S. paying a high price set by Iran.
If that battery becomes compromised, it goes into what's called thermal runaway, and that's where very, very quickly that fire will accelerate and grow.
Air officials are once again warning people about a rise in lithium-ion battery fires. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen. Good morning and happy Monday.
You know a thing or two about batteries.
Yeah, lithium-ion batteries burned down my childhood home. Why are people still charging these in their garages, inside their houses? They're dangerous.
They're talking specifically about your e-scooters and things like that.
And
so
e-bikes, yeah.
We'll pay attention to that coming up in a little bit in a moment here, too. We're going to talk about fires. These ones are wildfires in British Columbia. They've claimed the life of an 80-year-old woman, according to Mounties. She died after being caught in the Bald Range fire near Summerland. Penticton RCMP say the woman was trying to evacuate her home in the Meadow Valley with a family member when she suddenly died. Another evacuee fleeing the fast-moving fire found her and reported her death shortly after 1 a.m. Saturday. Now, Mounties believe her death was wildfire-related, but the BC Coroner Service is investigating. Police say no other wildfire-related deaths have been reported. This comes as more than 20,000 people are under evacuation orders near Okanagan Lake as the fast-moving wildfire tore through BC communities, destroying homes in its path.
Everything, we lost our dogs. We couldn't get our dogs out in time. There's just nothing left at all. It's devastating.
Evacuation orders now in place across Summerland, home to about 12,000. Another 8,000 residents in and around Peachland have been told to be ready to leave as the fire continues to spread along the western shore of Okanagan Lake. The blaze was first reported late Friday evening, but it quickly exploded in size, burning through 50 square kilometers in just a few hours and sending ash raining down on the community. A large fire has burned down a memorable building in a small village southeast of our city of Regina. On Saturday afternoon, volunteers from the Momart Fire Department responded to a building fire along Railway Avenue in the village of Kendall, which is about 70 kilometers from Regina. Residents say the fire started on the upper floor of the building around 2 p.m. First responders, along with people from the community, trying to bring those flames down.
We couldn't stand any closer than maybe 40, 50 feet because the heat was so intense. And more fire trucks came, and it was a community effort that really helped and put it and kept it under control.
That building's known to locals as Hunter's Lodge. It served as a bar in the community until the 70s. It was shut down a few decades ago. The cause is under investigation. There's another fatal collision on Saskatchewan highways this weekend, Jeremy.
What happened in the city of Saskatoon, Daryl? A 27-year-old man dead after the crash that happened early yesterday morning, just after 3 a.m. Emergency crews on the scene of a single vehicle collision. It was at the intersection of Highway 16 and Boychuk Drive underneath the overpass. Saskatoon Fire Department says the vehicle had struck the overpass and the car was fully consumed by fire. Traffic restrictions were in place well into yesterday afternoon as emergency crews remained on the scene. Police say the driver of the vehicle was the only person involved. And Saskatoon's fire department was called out to rescue someone stuck in the mud yesterday. They were called out near the intersection of Valley Road and Highway 60. This is just past the Moon Lake Golf Course. Shortly after 1 p.m., they found a person waist deep in mud hollering for help. SFD says the location was remote, heavily treed and overgrown along a slough. So they used ladders and various equipment to reach and eventually free the person from the mud. All right, Daryl, back to you with some health news this morning.
And new data, Jeremy, from the World Health Organization shining a light on the troubling number of measles cases in this country. The WHO says Canada has recorded about 1,100 measles cases so far this year. That's half as many as the 2,200 reported across the U.S., despite Canada having a population only about 1/10 the size of our neighbor to the south. Those in Regina who had questions or concerns about skin cancer had an opportunity to see a dermatologist on Saturday. The Mole Mobile, that's it on your screen, making its way across the country since its start in 2026, May of 2026. Regina is one of 3 stops in Saskatchewan. They're in Moose Jaw as well. According to organizers, there are over 60 people who signed up to get checked out here.
A lot of people are coming in concerned that they can't access medical care in a timely way. We have a massive shortage of dermatologists. A recent survey from the Canadian Dermatology Association shows that we need 38 dermatologists in this province, and we currently have about 11 dermatologists. So we are really incredibly underpowered, and we need a lot more dermatologists here in the province.
Mole-mobile organizers have had over 160 people sign up at certain parts along their tour. More than 1 million people in eastern China have been evacuated from their homes as Typhoon Dolphin has made landfall. Take a look at your screen. Incredible video coming into us. Heavy rain halted transportation across the region, and nearly 1,000 flights have been canceled in Shanghai alone. Authorities have now downgraded Dolphin to a tropical storm, but there is still torrential rain, severe flooding, and the risk of landslides as that storm moves north. Cleanup efforts now underway in southwestern Ontario after a pair of tornadoes touched down over the weekend. The fury of the storm that spawned the rotation caught on video. Take a look at your screen. The tornadoes have been confirmed to have hit the area near Lindsay, Ontario, northeast of Toronto, and Woodstock in southwestern Ontario. Storm system also led to intense flooding in the area. Scary stuff. Regina Thunder started off their CJFL season with a bang.
Oh, and he looks, that's knocked up in the air, and it's picked off. The first ball that he throws is intercepted. And the Regina Thunder have incredible field position. Like Zelyanka.
These highlights courtesy hnlive.ca. The Edmonton Wildcats were just pummeled by the Thunder, 56-1. They didn't even get a point until the fourth quarter. My, oh my. The Thunder will play again on the road next week against the Calgary Colts. How about this? A box of old Nintendo games found in Wisconsin turned out to contain nearly 100 copies of a previously unknown version of Super Mario Bros. And Duck Hunt.
These were printed about 2 years after the last known printing of these games. So no one really understands fully why Nintendo made a box of 100 of these. Back sticker on the cartridge is different. The screws are different. The manual is different. Even the motherboard for the game is different. So this is one of the most documented games in the history of video game preservation, and nobody has ever seen these specific carts before.
That's the owner of One Stop Wonders, who said the person sold the box claimed Nintendo sold cartridges to a metal recovery service to be melted down for the gold in them, but they were never destroyed. Some of them are in perfect condition and have earned the world's first PSA 10 grade for an NES game. Means they're in mint condition. 3 of them will hit the auction block and are expected to fetch millions. They may have little legs, but these guys can really move.
Flag is up. And Corgi's Array in the championship. Good race to the...
This is the ever so popular Corgi World Championship. The popular race sees these cute little corgis dashing 45 meters. This year's winner was Gustav the Girl Dog. Really committed to that name, also known as Gigi, taking it all in a photo finish. Look at all those good boys and girls. They'll never not be funny to me with their tiny little legs.
Yeah, exactly. Just the sprinting. It's good. It's a good way to make you smile on a Monday.
Sure it is. So it's some nice temperatures.
Yeah, although we are seeing some temperatures as cool as 5 degrees down south this morning, so it is a little bit chilly to wake you up. This Morning View is brought to you by Stars Lottery, your ticket funds life-saving care across Saskatchewan. We are starting to see a lot of that fog lifting this morning, so visibility is improving. Still just a little bit of fog in the area. 8 degrees right now, calm winds, and the current situation out there, just a mix of sun and cloud. In Saskatoon, 11 degrees, mix of sun and cloud as well, and winds currently coming in at 6 kilometers per hour. We're not really going to be seeing those winds increasing all too much this afternoon either, so enjoy that nice calm day in terms of the winds. What we are going to be seeing is a little bit more of that precipitation. So we of course did see some yesterday, especially down south. That part of the system has mainly exited the province. Now we're starting to see just a little bit more in central Saskatchewan, just a small spot, but later on in the day we do see more moving through right around the Battlefords, Prince Albert, Saskatoon, Lloydminster, all those areas that are going to be seeing that rain today. Into the overnight hours, we're seeing more of that popping up down south. So Regina, although we are seeing that mix of sun and cloud for the afternoon today, it's into those overnight and early morning hours tomorrow that we could be seeing some of that precipitation. Into Tuesday, this is at about 12 p.m. Still seeing some of that rain falling around Prince Albert. And then the system that we're really focusing on is actually moving through for Wednesday early morning. This is at 4 a.m., bringing quite a bit of rain to Swift Current, and that does come with the risk of some thunderstorms. Into the afternoon, we are seeing that rain still falling in north, central, and parts of southern Saskatchewan as well. We talked last hour about how these numbers for the total rainfall can and frequently do change, and that has rang true because these numbers have fluctuated since last hour. Now we're seeing by the end of the day about 1 millimeter of rain for the Battlefords and about 4 millimeters for Saskatoon. We are going to keep you updated on these numbers as they do tend to fluctuate. Today's forecast in terms of those temperatures, though, we're seeing about 20 degrees for the Battlefords, 21 in Saskatoon, 22 in Prince Albert, 23 in Yorkton today, 23 in Regina and Estevan, 23 in Moose Jaw as well, with a small chance of seeing just some very light drizzle. Mainly, we're expecting a mix of sun and cloud there today. 24 in Weyburn with that cloud cover and a little bit more sunshine over in Swift Current. Again, here's your reminder that the average this time of year is between 25 to 26 degrees, so temperatures are slightly cooler today than what we're used to this time of year. Look at our rural forecast now. We are seeing some cooler temperatures today. 19 degrees in Lloydminster with that rain, risk of thunderstorms. Spiritwood, some rain, 19 degrees, and 21 in Watrous, 22 in Wynyard. Both areas also expecting to see just a little bit of rain. Down south, less of the rain, more of the sunshine. 28 in Maple Creek today, 25 in Rockland, 23 in Pilot Butte, and more cloud cover down through the far southeast corner of the province in Broadview and Carlisle, up to 21 and 22 degrees respectively. Let's take a look at St. Walburg, where internet plans up to 1 gig are available from SaskTel. 19 degrees this afternoon, cloudy with some showers. Winds remaining very calm, though, only coming in between 10 to 20 kilometers per hour.
Hi everyone, Mark Rowe inside the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Sunday. And for that, we're going to go to Philly as the Blue Jays were taking on the Phillies. It was tied in the extras, 11th inning, bases loaded for Luis Arraez, who lines one to Nathan Lucas, who comes up throwing, and he guns out Garrett Stubbs to end the inning. What an incredible throw by Lucas. Unfortunately for the Blue Jays, they'd come up short and lose this one, but Nathan Lucas still earns your must-see moment from Sunday. And tonight on TSN, we've got Toronto Tempo basketball as they take on the Atlanta Dream. Tip-off is at 8 p.m. Eastern across the TSN network. That's all from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
You got any friends or family in your life that experience short person problems?
Director Corey.
Yes, absolutely. He would suffer at this swim-up bar.
I want to be where the people are. I want to see them dancing, walking around.
Corey just said in our ear, he is 5 feet. Swimming with your 5'1" friend. She's got to be a part of it, but she's barely up there.
Swim.
That's too deep.
Swim, little fishy, swim.
Come on. Even the tall guys have to hold their drinks up to stay out of that water. That's
tough.
Good.
Tough life in paradise.
Yeah. Yeah, some issues that I would like to have. Oh right. No, the swim up bars.
I hope to have this same problem in January.
Yeah.
Oh, heck yeah.
Just saw video evidence. That's my perfect lazy day.
Just, yeah, or in a lazy river.
Oh.
How about a lazy river on a lazy day?
Yeah. It's written right into the name.
Yeah. But we're asking you today, describe your perfect lazy day. A few great answers coming in so far. We'd love to see some more. Kevin saying perfect lazy day starts with coffee, just laying around and binge watching shows or a good movie. Yeah. That sounds perfect. Sherry saying perfect lazy day is a walk with my dog, going for a pup cup, then relaxing in the backyard, reading a book while the dog sleeps at my feet. Sounds like bliss, hey? Another answer coming in saying perfect lazy day is when I wake up 9:30, 10. I cannot imagine sleeping
good for
that
you
late
reading
ever.
this.
Yeah.
This is tiny.
For cat cuddles, I have very good eyesight.
So do I. I can read it, but it's small.
Coffee in bed, whatever is streaming I use has the greatest selection of things to watch. Make the best French toast with homemade strawberry sauce. Yum. Whipped cream, sausages, fresh fruit for brunch. Afternoon siesta, nachos.
That's a lot of work for a lazy day.
Art all night. No, this is the perfect day for them though.
If you did it all the day before, you just enjoyed the fruits of the labor.
Yeah, it's not really lazy. It's happy maybe and enjoyable, but
I want the strawberry sauce recipe. That sounds good.
That does sound good. Scan the QR code, share your answers. We're going to go live out to Mike Siona in Prince Albert in just a moment.
Barrick Mining says it has reached an agreement with Newmont on their Nevada joint venture, opening the way for the Canadian company to list its North American assets in New York. Under the agreement announced Monday, Newmont will pay Barrick $1.95 billion as the companies contribute previously excluded properties to the venture, including Barrick's 4 Mile project and Newmont's Fiberline and Mike developments. Barrick also announced Mark Hill as chief executive officer of its planned North American spinoff. A new report says the average national asking rent fell 4% in July compared with last year and now stands at just over $2,000, $2,037. That marks the 22nd consecutive month of year-over-year declines in the average cost being sought by landlords, according to the latest monthly analysis from Rentals.ca and Urban Nation. The asking rents have now fallen 7.5% over the past 2 years. Those are your morning business headlines. For B&M Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
For like third.
Check back in with Mike Siona, getting some safety tips this morning.
Well, we're going to pack an ultimate first aid kit with Lyle Karasek here at Parkland Ambulance in Prince Albert. And we hope, of course, that you never have to open it or use it. But the whole point here, Lyle, as we've been talking about this morning, is making sure that we're safe. And a lot of times, in the summer months particularly, space is at a premium.
Well, absolutely, Mike. Space is often at a premium, whether it's the boat, the ATV, or just going out on a hike. You want to carry your backpack, so you got your water bottle and, you know, this and that and stuff for the kids if it's a family affair. That space is at a premium. So when we start to think about things that are really essential for that compact first aid kit, it's always something that is, one, control the bleeding. So some gauze there. Controlling severe bleeding, a tourniquet is truly an essential thing. It doesn't take a lot of space up. And the other thing is that think about something for splinting. If you're not that creative kind of guy or gal and you know you don't want to go trim a tree down and make a board splint and all that stuff, a commercial splint like this, which doesn't take up a lot of things but highly malleable, and you can turn it for an ankle or for an arm or even for a leg, is going to be essential. But this doesn't take a lot of space, and that's the key when we're talking about summer travels.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Obviously, a commercial kit like this is great. You can supplement it. You could even, kind of maybe pick and choose what goes in or build your own.
Absolutely, and that's what we want people to do. Is you can go out to any store, buy your commercial kit, go online, order it, but often there's stuff in there that it kind of doesn't fit for my family. So build your own. Go to your local drugstore, shopping store, wherever you'd like to buy, or order it online and customize it. Add the things that work for you. But we often tell people, read the instructions and follow the directions. So if a bottle of Tylenol, for example, says for an adult, take 1 tablet every 4 hours, blah, 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 and after 8 hours, see a doctor. Whatever those instructions are, read the label. We can't emphasize that enough to people to do that for your home stuff.
Makes sense. Yeah, you can customize the kit, but don't start customizing dosages or things like that. Lyle, thanks very much. We'll see what else goes into first aid safety a little later this morning.
Time for our morning mystery. We've got 3 clues lined up for you. Today we are told it is an animal. Play along with us. Clue number 1. These animals usually live in groups of 10 to 15. They have a top speed of 18 kilometers per hour. And despite being the king of the jungle, they mostly live in the savanna or grasslands. Up until that clue, I was going to say cheetah. But now,
after the first answer, I was going to say gazelle.
Gazelle?
Cheetahs are faster than... Cheetahs are faster than 18, I think.
There you go. They probably
30,
are.
40.
They probably are.
Yeah.
The lion, the king of the jungle, that's the answer to today's morning mystery.
Studio consideration provided by Father's Furniture, specializing in quality Canadian-made furniture.
At our national forecast now, 23 degrees in Vancouver today with a mix of sun and clouds, some rain in Prince George, up to 20 degrees. Also seeing some rain and risk of thunderstorms in Alberta today. Edmonton 19 and Calgary 21 degrees. A bit warmer through Winnipeg with a mix of sun and cloud, 25 degrees. In Toronto today, a high of 27 with, again, mainly sunny skies. A risk of some thunderstorms in Ottawa and Montreal, 27 degrees for both cities. Fredericton 29 degrees, Halifax 29, and St. John's a bit more cloud cover, only up to 14 degrees today. As we go to break, here is a look at those gas prices in Regina. Your average price, $163.9. You could find it for as low as $146.9. In Saskatoon, your average price, $161.9, and you could find it for as low as $147.9. In the farm markets this morning, we find the street price of canola at $727.85 per ton. The futures price, $783.60 per ton. Amber durum wheat now at $272.48 per ton, and red spring wheat at $287.05 per ton. The Canadian dollar trends up this morning. It's now at 71.72 cents U.S. A major fire at a Saskatoon school. What you need to know when we come back.
7:28, welcome back to the program. My name is Daryl. Thank you for being with us. Saskatoon fire crews were on scene of a high school over the weekend, and now there is a lot of uncertainty as many await an update regarding the return to school and how it'll be impacted. Hallie Mandrick leads us off.
This was the scene on Friday night at Saskatoon's Bethlehem High School. The blaze caught the attention of many, including those who were getting ready to return to classes within the next few weeks.
I heard the sirens and I was just curious, and then my phone went off and my friends had said the building had caught fire, and it kind of threw me off. So I was looking on social media, seeing videos, and it was devastating. It was shocking.
According to the Saskatoon Fire Department, crews received a call around 10:30 p.m. and arrived to see heavy smoke and flames coming from a construction area attached to the school. Fire crews did enter the building to search for people inside, and no injuries have been reported. Hofer says that construction area was intended to be an add-on for the school, and this is certainly not the back-to-school season that the soon-to-be senior had anticipated.
It's disturbing. And I was excited to see these extensions be added to the school. And since I'm going into grade 12, it's kind of my last year, and start off with a bang, I guess.
Now Hofer and many others are waiting to learn more about how this fire will impact the upcoming return to school. In a social media post, the school stated that there is smoke and water damage in the building, and school officials are in discussions with the SFD and emergency personnel regarding what the next steps will look like. In the meantime, Hofer says he has faith that those connected to the school will remain strong as they navigate the uncertainty.
All the Bethlehem kids, we're a community, so it's almost to show support for one another. It's a shock, and hopefully the community can come together to get through it.
Hallie Mandrick, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Well, fire officials are once again warning about a rise in lithium-ion battery fires.
Becomes compromised, it goes into what's called thermal runaway, and that's where very, very quickly that fire will accelerate and grow.
Calgary firefighters responded to 3 battery fires over the span of 24 hours last week. At least 2 of them involved e-scooters and their lithium-ion batteries overheating while charging. People are being told to avoid overcharging their batteries. Devices should be unplugged when they reach the charge level you desire. Fire officials want to see stronger oversight on lithium-ion batteries in Canada. Some of the batteries sold online don't meet Canadian safety standards. Wildfires remain a crisis in parts of Europe. In eastern Spain, crews are desperately trying to gain the upper hand. 700 people in the area were evacuated from the path of the wildfire, which started on Friday. It's already burned through several square kilometers. Firefighters are also grappling with fires across central Spain and in the south. In Indonesia, a national park was closed to tourists this weekend after wildfires approached an active volcano. Video released by the park operator shows intense flames racing up the side of the mountain. Water bombing, helicopters and drones are being used to fight the flames. Oman and Iran are said to be closing in on a deal to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. Any deal, though, would require the U.S. to meet conditions set by Tehran. They include paying compensation for war damage, lifting sanctions, and ending military threats. The U.S. and Iran are not in direct talks. In an interview with Axios, President Donald Trump said the administration was low-keying it with Iran and semi-negotiating. Tehran says it won't talk to the U.S. as long as terms of their ceasefire are broken. The Prime Minister is in summer mode this week, starting today with a reduced work schedule. Mark Carney has commitments in Italy, but says he will still be on a mix of several government priorities, like trade negotiations with the U.S. Carney said he'll be in contact with officials and his team, who will be notified if any events come up. The Prime Minister's office says the Ethics Commissioner didn't find any concerns or inconsistencies with his upcoming reduced schedule. Saskatoon is making some changes about smoking that will bring bylaws in line with other communities. Keenan Sorokhan walks us through those changes.
I know it has been detailed and complicated, and I think the refresh is good.
Smokers in Saskatoon are going to have to stand much further away from any doorway if they're lighting up. The city is looking to change the buffer zone for smoking in front of all doorways, windows, and air intakes from 3 meters to 10 meters, or nearly 33 feet.
I would support that for sure.
That seems a bit much, to be honest, yeah.
Reaction is mixed about the added clearance, which would make most of Broadway a no-smoking area. Some fear Saskatoon could become like Banff, where there are bans on smoking in certain areas, and police keep close attention.
I'd hate to see that, where all of a sudden we're deploying resources at 9 meters and somebody's got a measuring tape out.
This is roughly the setback distance you will have to smoke away from a doorway in Saskatoon if these changes take effect. But these distances are self-regulated. There is nothing enforcing them now or in the future.
I totally understand. Don't smoke inside, of course. But it's going to be balanced.
If I'm drunk or something, not paying attention, I'll smoke in front of a doorway, and if they ask me to move, I'm going to move.
The provincial rule is 3 meters, but moving to 10 meters aligns Saskatoon with Regina and Edmonton. The city says Saskatoon police receive 1 to 3 complaints every year, and any of the 15 to 25 tickets handed out annually are near high schools. Keenan Sorokhan, CTV News, Saskatoon.
A 3-year-old BC girl is expected to make a full recovery after being attacked by a bear in her own backyard.
I am still in shock. I have waves of just wanting to break down and just cry. But we've been staying strong for her. She's a brave little warrior. I cannot believe how tough she is.
In Maple Ridge yesterday, her mom told CTV News the bear attacked when she, the child, and her husband were outside together. Her husband managed to fight the bear back enough to rescue his daughter, but eventually had to no choice but to take a shot with his bow. Despite hitting it, the bear returned after running off. Then, for the sake of the public safety, police shot the bear before it ran into the woods. It has not been located. The girl was airlifted to BC's Children's Hospital. Music lovers were in Victoria Park in Regina for the first ever Exchange Folk Festival. Okay, so they're using folk liberally. The new event opened at the noon hour as spiritual successor to the Regina Folk Festival, a long-standing tradition that went about 50 years before it shut down.
This isn't the Regina Folk Festival, though, right? This is a brand new venture. We're kind of hitting reset. We're trying to reset people's expectations on what the festival experience is going to be, and then we're going to grow it deliberately.
It's important that the community gets out and supports this. I think, they were in the past, but it's a matter of, I think we need to rebuild that community engagement, community building model for this.
Organizers said they saw over 800 people. Team Saskatchewan won gold in the Senior Women's National Football Championship on Saturday. This was at SMF Field up in Saskatoon. They beat Team Quebec 24-3. They also had a 56-0 win against Atlantic earlier in the week. Safe to say they're happy with the results.
We're
lucky that a lot of us have known each other and played against each other for a long time. So it's nice that we have some of that veteran presence to kind of help some of that team bonding. But at the end of the day, we all know that even though we're rivals in our regular league, that we're here for a common goal, and that's to show what Saskatchewan football is all about. So it makes it pretty easy to come together as a squad at the end of the day.
Emery Dale was the defensive player of the game, Chanel Roux offensive. The Saskatchewan Roughriders are finding ways to win despite a major bite from that injury bug.
Second down and 5 from the 18. That's caught and more! Touchdown! Dylan Jitte! It is first.
And stepping up in a big way has been 2026 second-round pick Dylan Jetty, who scored his first CFL touchdown in Friday's win over the Ottawa Redblacks. The team's top 2 receivers and starting running back now on the 6-game injured list. Jetty was hurt at the CFL Combine, didn't get a full camp in, so he's now excited to showcase his skills.
It means everything. I mean, like we talked about all this week, I've been preparing myself. I've been going through a lot with the injury, but mentally I was there. And when my opportunity came, I just had to do what I had to do.
Johnson III had 100 receiving yards on Friday. Go Ducks. The Riders will head to Hamilton to take on the Ticats on Saturday. A matchmaking experiment in New York City is giving young singles a chance at love.
About it on TikTok, and I was like, why not try it out, see if I meet someone, like see who my soulmate is, I should say.
Photo booth. Visitors to the booth scan a QR code to fill out a 26-question survey. They also need to pay $10 and take a snapshot. Their photo is then printed alongside their most compatible match from whomever sat in the booth before them. You get their name and their photo, and the rest is up to you. Neat idea, Kayleen.
So she saw it on TikTok. I actually saw this on TikTok, and it worked for one connection. They actually ended up meeting up, going on a date. We don't know what happened after, but so far I think it was going good, so I think it's a great idea.
If that doesn't work for you, you can always sign up for CTV and Crave's Farming for Love, right?
Hey, yeah, whatever works.
There you go.
Let's get on over to this weather picture here. It's a beautiful live shot outside right now. I'm going to step out of the way and just show you how lush and green this looks. Right over top of our legislative building, you can see Mosaic Stadium in the background. Just a beautiful day to be waking up here in Regina, Saskatchewan. 8 degrees right now, calm winds and a mix of sun and cloud. In Saskatoon, we're seeing 11 degrees, so the temperatures have bumped up just slightly. We are seeing, again, mainly cloudy skies. Winds, though, very calm, currently coming in at 6 kilometers per hour. And here's a look at today's wind gusts, showing you that it's going to remain a fairly calm day in terms of those winds. Remaining fairly low, just a few places lighting up in green where we could see those winds barely surpassing 30 kilometers per hour. Other than that, though, especially down through the southeast corner of the province, winds very low today. Now, temperatures have also been low to start the day, but they are starting to bump up. We're now at least seeing a lot of double digits. 12 degrees in Prince Albert, Melfort 11, and Hudson Bay at 10 degrees. Down in the south, still seeing some single digits. Moose Jaw at 7 degrees, Assiniboia 9 degrees, and Weyburn joining Regina at 8 degrees, 11 degrees in Estevan and Yorkton, and 10 degrees over in East End to start the day. Today's forecast, though, into the afternoon, looking like we will be seeing some rain and risk of some thunderstorms in parts of northern and central Saskatchewan. 20 degrees in the Battlefords with that, 21 in Saskatoon and Prince Albert, 23 in Regina, Moose Jaw and Yorkton, 23 as well in Estevan, and then 24 expected for Weyburn and 24 expected in Swift Current. So below the seasonal average, just by how much? The average for this day, August 10th in Regina, is 26.3 degrees, and the average in Saskatoon is 25.6. On this day last year, we were also below that average, but we were at least closer to it. 25.7 on this day last year in Regina and 23.6 on this day in Saskatoon last year. The record back in 1978 in Regina was 35.4 degrees, and the record back in 1984 in Saskatoon was 37.7 degrees. Also expecting to be seeing some more rain later on in the week in Regina, expecting that on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Temperatures really taking a nosedive on Friday, down to about 16 degrees with that rain. In Saskatoon, 21 degrees tomorrow. Risk of some thunderstorms in your afternoon. Rain then returning for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Temperatures again going down to below 20 on Friday. finish line for selling your home takes some finesse. And if you want to know more about that checklist, Sarah McKinley is here with all the tips you need to know before handing those keys over. Good morning and welcome back to the studio.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
So, Sarah, let's say possession day is finally here or it's rapidly approaching. When should a seller actually start preparing for that?
Right. So it's really good if a seller starts prepping from the beginning. So as soon as they list their home, they need to have an expectation of what they need to tackle throughout the process to get them across the finish line.
So we know when to start preparing, but what should we start with when we're preparing?
Right. So we need to go and book a best practice walkthrough with our clients. So the seller should call us and say, hey, my home is ready for you to come. We will arrive. We'll walk through every room. We'll test the appliances. We'll make sure that everything that is included in the transaction is actually there, not missing. And we'll take a video or photos of the home in its condition. So we have that to reference in the future and share with the buyers, ensuring that the home is as they expect it to be left.
I never would have thought of taking that video and having all that proof. Is there anything else that kind of takes people off guard when they're selling?
Not knowing what to actually leave with the home on the possession day. So there could be a 20-year-old freezer in the basement in the corner. Maybe that's not supposed to stay. Maybe the buyer doesn't want those paint cans from 1960 that are all dried up. So it's making sure that you're working with your realtor and going through the checklist. We have a PDF that we provide them that just outlines all of the steps leading up to the possession day. Changing over your utilities, making sure Canada Post is going to forward your mail to your new address, all those little things.
Is there anything else that we should do to get the home ready for the new owners?
So the seller can go ahead and download the SAS Power app, take a picture of their meter, have that final meter reading. They can call their insurance provider, making sure that they understand what the requirements are if the home is going to be left vacant. Remember, your realtor cannot mow the lawn, shovel snow. Those are professionals that we can connect you to, but our insurance doesn't quite cover that.
Any last minute things sellers should be doing right before move out day?
Keep your phone on you, just in case we need to get a hold of you, to be ahead of things, put out any fires. We want to make sure that there's a direct line of communication between the buyer's agent, the buyer's lawyer, and our side.
Any final tips before we wrap up?
Just be prepared as much as you can, and we're here to support you.
It's a wild ride. How can people get a hold of you?
They can DM me or give me an old school phone call.
All right, that is our real estate expert, Sarah McKinley. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
The incident happened on June 22nd, 2026 at around 1:30 in the early morning on a 3000 block of Hill Avenue. Two men broke into a business trailer and stole money that was left in the till. They also stole some consumable goods that were inside. If you know who these two men are, call Crime Stoppers.
I'm Belton Johnson, board member with Regina Crime Stoppers. Did you know Crime Stoppers will pay up to $2,000 cash rewards for information on this or any other serious crime in Regina? Callers do not have to identify themselves. Calls are not traced or recorded. In Regina, Saskatchewan, in Canada, call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-TIPS. That's 1-800-222-8477. You can also access our website at www.reginacrimestoppers.ca. Remember, our community suffers when you remain silent. Please report crime.
Crime Stoppers is brought to you by Leak Audiology, helping you live well with better hearing.
Here's what's happening in our community. A church service and potluck is on August 16th at 10 a.m. at the St. Mary's Romanian Orthodox Church in Kayville. Call 306-631-8304. The Southie Fire Department Show and Shine is on August 16th, 10 a.m. on Keats Street in Southie. Call 306-726-8082. The Windthorst Horticulture Show is on August 18th, 2 p.m. at the Windthorst Recreation Center. Call 306-736-3052. And Drop Zone is on August 22nd. Raise funds to support Easter Seal Saskatchewan. Spots are limited. Register now at dropzoneyqr.ca. Submit your event to our community by visiting our website, ctvregina.ca, and click Community Calendar or scan the QR code on your screen.
years ago this week, Elton John hit a huge milestone with his song Don't Go Breaking My Heart, giving him his first #1 single in the UK.
Don't go breaking my heart. You take the weight off of me.
It was a duet with Kiki D, and it topped charts around the world in the summer of 1976. Elton John has gone on to see many more #1s, including the most commercially successful single in global chart history everywhere, his tribute song to Princess Diana, Candle in the Wind.
Right from the start, I gave you my heart. Oh, I gave you my
It's August 10th, and we have some anniversaries to celebrate. We'll start off with a big happy anniversary wish going out to Corey and Kelly. We hope you have a wonderful day together with love from your friends and family. And happy anniversary to this awesome couple as well. Marge and Albert have now been married for 63 years. We hope you have a very special day celebrating with love from your whole family.
Milestones, brought to you by Harbor Landing Village, an award-winning senior care and living community in Regina.
If you have a milestone coming up, send us an email to yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca or simply scan that QR code on your screen. Please send those in at least one day in advance.
All right, so you're giving stuff away again, back on the horse?
Back on the horse. Yes, I don't think we ever get off of it, but Cameron Whitcomb in Nashville at the Ryman is what you could be winning this week. All you have to do is listen to us for 10 straight minutes with the iHeartRadio app, and you can listen each and every day, get entered every day, and in a couple weeks we will do that draw. In the meantime, too, we're talking about some competitions, some little contests between you and maybe your friends or family where there is a trophy on the line, either for victory or maybe something you have to display of shame if you're the loser, too. I know my brother-in-law, his side of the family, they do a mini golf contest each and every year, and the loser of that, they just had it this past weekend, gets a piece of art. We'll say it's a tasteful nude painting that has to be put up prominently for the entire year until the contest rolls around again. So if you have anything along those lines we want to hear about, you can text 54321.
It's Monday. Let's play Song Roulette. Let's send the next song out to Janelle.
Janelle, you got Stella Lefty's Boston, which is like the favorite one I'm playing right now.
That is a great track. Thank you very much.
Thanks. We'll see you tomorrow.
What is happening to me?
Spider-Man still dominating box offices around the world 2 weeks after release. It's now the 12th highest grossing movie ever worldwide, with $1.67 billion in ticket sales. Marvel is owned by Disney, the parent company of ABC News.
Ithaca's king is coming back. No, he's not.
Meanwhile, The Odyssey became director Christopher Nolan's highest grossing movie ever, with $1.1 billion.
To finding true love on the least romantic night of the year.
Hitting theaters over the weekend, One Night Only, the romantic comedy starring Callum Turner and Monica Barbaro, debuted to $5.7 million at the box office. And Barbie is honoring Whitney Houston with a signature collector doll. The doll comes with the iconic singer's dress from the I Wanna Dance with Somebody music video and a mic stand. And happy birthday to Angie Harmon, who turns 54 today. Allison Cossack, ABC News, New York.
Well, kids see everything and copy everything you do, even when they're playing. It's all fun and games until the smoke alarm goes off. Waving the pillow at the alarm just like her mom does while she's playing kitchen.
What's that Foxworthy joke? The dinner's done before that particular timer goes off.
Yeah. I've been guilty of setting off the fire alarm in my house a time or two.
You got to get to the first one before they all go off, right? Because they're linked.
Yeah.
Thanks. JD, what do you got for us?
All right. From pretend problems to real life problems. Check this out.
Midlifer confessions. My feet were turning brown and I thought I was in full liver failure. Turns out the new lotion I bought was self-tanner. Midlifer confessions.
Meet the midlifers. Suzette and Lisa have garnered a large online following. They believe that aging gracefully is overrated, so they're just sharing their experiences. They're pretty darn good.
I think you could come up with a few of these.
Oh, well, the things we could explore.
It's
Goodness gracious.
Panic because I...
Welcome to Monday, August 10th.
House, we lost our barn, we lost our paddocks, we lost everything. We lost our dogs. We couldn't get our dogs out in time.
Break and devastation. The Summerland fire in BC claims the life of an 80-year-old woman and forces hundreds from their homes.
We couldn't stand any closer than maybe 40, 50 feet because the heat was so intense.
Large fire in Kendall, Saskatchewan. And highlights of a new music festival in Regina over the weekend. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen. Good morning. Happy Monday.
A lot of people showed up for that Exchange Folk Festival. First year they did that, taking over from the Regina Folk Festival. And I've noticed a trend. One of my friends goes to the Ottawa Blues Fest every year.
Oh, yes.
And I don't know a blues artist that's played it. Like they saw Kanye at it a few years back. The Chili Peppers played at this thing. Like, they're taking the titles of these things way too liberal. They should just call them music festivals.
Yeah, no, I kind of agree with that one, because when we go off genre, it's
even
confusing.
That sound off the top there was very, very...
Yeah, you're saying that's not
very
folk music? I don't know. It could be,
I think more singer-songwriter-y.
Now we're going to get into a debate for this.
Let's debate. Right after we talk about wildfires, because that's part of the job. There are more than 100 active wildfires burning across British Columbia this morning, 3 of which started in the last 24 hours.
Fire behavior is rank 5, which is extremely aggressive and volatile. There is spot fires occurring ahead of the fire, and as the fire progresses, it's absorbing those spot fires.
BC declared a state of emergency over the weekend. There is devastation everywhere. Let's take you to Summerland now with Andrew Johnson.
An eerie calm on an empty lake under a distorted sun, waking up in Penticton as a far cry from a frantic Friday night one town over. First responders went door to door to get everyone out in critical areas. More than 50 had to be rescued by helicopter as the fire cresting the hill above Summerland got bigger and closer.
There was no time to really grab anything. We got 4 horses out, and the rest we had to open the gates and hope that they survived. We found them yesterday. They did survive.
Kiera and Sasha Sopo got out safely. They say other family members suffered burns. It was such a close call. Their ranch, where they were married, is gone.
We lost everything. We lost our dogs. We couldn't get our dogs out in time. There's just nothing left at all. It's devastating.
They are not alone in their devastation. Video shot just west of Summerland, where the fire started, documents empty foundations and burned out vehicles. For one person, the escape was fatal.
I've heard one life has been lost trying to escape the fire.
RCMP confirm an 80-year-old woman died trying to leave her home. The regional district is passing on some positive news.
There is no damage to the main downtown core of Summerland.
Officials are also acknowledging frustrating waits for some of the 10,000 evacuees in Penticton, saying the system is strained.
Remember, a lot of the volunteers who are helping with emergency support services are all also impacted. Many of them, like myself, are out of our homes right now.
So are people like Ted Volo, a third-generation farmer unable to complete his apple harvest or water his crops.
We're probably looking at losing some fruit there that's just not going to get harvested.
Volo, like many others, is trying to figure out how to pass the time.
Just helpless. And I think that's like whenever everyone I've talked to, it's just this, everyone's really bored and just doesn't know what to do with themselves.
For the evacuees, it may feel like life has stopped moving, but the fire has not. In behind all of that smoke, the BC Wildfire Service says shifting winds could be a legitimate threat, so Summerland isn't safe yet. Andrew Johnson, CTV News, Penticton, BC.
In other news this morning, we are talking about a fire over the weekend in Kendall. It's burned down a memorable building in the community. It happened around 2 o'clock Saturday. The building is known to locals as Hunter's Lodge. It was a bar up until the 70s. It's been mostly abandoned since then. Momart Fire responded to the call.
We couldn't stand any closer than maybe 40, 50 feet because the heat was so intense. And more fire trucks came, and it was a community effort that really helped and kept it under control.
The cause and damage estimates still under investigation. There's another fire we got to talk about this morning, Jeremy Dodge. That's at Saskatoon at Bethlehem High School Friday night.
Yeah, Daryl, this was, according to Saskatoon Fire Department, a call that came in around 10:30 p.m. Friday. They arrived to see heavy smoke and flames coming from a construction area attached to the school. Now, fire crews did enter the building to search for people inside. No injuries have been reported. And for those who were preparing to return to classes in a few weeks, the blaze has created a lot of uncertainty.
And I was just curious, and then my phone went off, and my friends had said the building had caught fire, and it kind of threw me off. So I was looking on social media, seeing videos, and it was devastating. It was shocking.
Now, the school stated there is smoke and water damage in the building. School officials are in discussions with the fire department and emergency personnel regarding what the next steps might look like. A 27-year-old man is dead after a fatal crash that happened early Sunday morning. It was just after 3 a.m. yesterday. Emergency crews on the scene of a single vehicle collision at Highway 16 and Boychuk Drive. The Saskatoon Fire Department says the vehicle had struck an overpass and the car was fully consumed by fire. Traffic restrictions were in place into the afternoon as the emergency crews remained on the scene. Police say the driver of the vehicle was the only person involved. All right, Daryl, it was an emotional day in the nation's capital yesterday.
Yeah, Jeremy, crowds gathered to remember the sacrifice of Canada's peacekeepers. Members of the RCMP, veterans and current military members turned out for National Peacekeepers Day. 52 years ago, 9 Canadian peacekeepers were killed when their United Nations transport plane was shot down over Syria. Police are investigating the death of a 12-year-old as a homicide in northern Alberta. Human remains were found last week near the hamlet of Calling Lake, which is several hours north of Edmonton. Following an autopsy, the victim was identified as a 12-year-old boy from Edmonton. Investigators are now looking for the public's help, asking anyone with dashcam video from Highway 813 near Calling Lake or C Road on August 6th to come forward. Music lovers flocked to Victoria Park in Regina for the first ever Exchange Folk Festival. This was on Saturday. It's a successor to the Regina Folk Festival, long-standing tradition locally, which lasted about 50 years.
This isn't the Regina Folk Festival, though, right? This is a brand new venture. We're kind of hitting reset. We're trying to reset people's expectations on what the festival experience is going to be, and then we're going to grow it deliberately.
It's important that the community gets out and supports this. I think, they were in the past, but it's a matter of, I think we need to rebuild that community engagement, community building model for this.
In the early hours, they reported about 700 to 800 people. Let's get over to the Weather Center and join Kayleen Sawatsky. That was obviously before the rain moved in yesterday, which was a nice reprieve, actually.
Yeah, and we are going to be seeing a little bit more of that rain today, especially through parts of northern and central Saskatchewan, a little bit down south, just not so much. This morning view, though, it's brought to you by Stars Lottery, your ticket fund's life-saving care across Saskatchewan. We're at 10 degrees now to wake you up in Regina, so we just bumped up into those double digits finally. So a cooler start to the day, winds coming in at 4 kilometers per hour, so you're not even going to be noticing those if you're heading out the door. Mix of sun and cloud, that fog for the most part has lifted. 13 degrees to wake you up in Saskatoon, mainly cloudy skies and calm winds to start your day. Radar and satellite now showing all that rain that we did get across the south yesterday, and then rain moving in for parts of northern and central Saskatchewan early on this morning. You can barely see that little spot between Saskatoon and Prince Albert on our screen, but there is just a little bit of precipitation falling right now. More precipitation moving in for our afternoon right around Prince Albert and Saskatoon. The Battleford's also going to be seeing a little bit of that rain. Lloydminster as well. Into the overnight hours and early morning tomorrow, Regina likely to be seeing some, just not for the afternoon today. Again, overnight, early tomorrow. A little bit around Swift Current as well, and then that system is going to be making its way over through Estevan into, again, early Tuesday morning. Into Wednesday afternoon, though, we are seeing the larger system. This is right around Swift Current. It's going to be coming with the risk of some thunderstorms, all that yellow and orange color on your screen, so be prepared for that. Into later in the day on Wednesday, the system really breaking up, and we're seeing parts of northern, central, and southern Saskatchewan with bits of rain. Now, we were talking last hour about these numbers and how they can and frequently do change. However, they haven't budged since last hour. Right now, we're seeing only about 1 millimeter of rain for the Battlefords by 1 a.m. and about 4 millimeters for Saskatoon. Today's forecast, though, with that little bit of precipitation, 20 degrees in the Battlefords, 21 in Saskatoon and Prince Albert, 23 in Yorkton today. Joining at 23 will be Regina, Moose Jaw, and Estevan. 24 degrees in Weyburn with that cloud cover, and 24 in Swift Current as well, with a little bit more of that sunshine. 5-day forecast showing that, at least for Regina, tomorrow should be a mix of sun and cloud. It's into Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday that we are seeing a little bit more of that rain. Friday especially, we see temperatures taking that nosedive down to about 16 degrees. In Saskatoon, a higher chance of that rain tomorrow, coming with those thunderstorms. 21, a bit of a break on Wednesday from the rain, 21 degrees, and then the rain returning for Thursday and Friday.
This day in history, August 10th, 1993, American jurist Ruth Bader Ginsburg was sworn in as Associate Justice of the U.S. Supreme Court, becoming the second woman to serve on the court. August 10th, 1914, France declared war on Austria-Hungary in the First World War. And August 10th, 1793, the Louvre opened in Paris, which later became the world's most visited museum.
We have shown you a lot of people of elevated age doing some incredible things, but this is reaching new heights.
And you are officially amazing! Well done.
97-year-old Betty Bromage from the UK is officially the oldest female wing walker.
What?
Check this lady out.
Why?
She has now broken her own record that she set 4 years ago. She's done this 6 times since she turned 87, saying she'd get bored if she didn't do this.
Oh.
Wow.
You'd get bored.
What?
Is it crazy of me to say? I think I would rather do that than actually skydive, because at least your feet are still planted.
Yeah.
I would rather do that than jump out of a plane.
It was the go upside. Well, I'd still want a parachute if I did that part of it.
Yes. I think they would give her a parachute, I think.
Well, I guess that's her perfect lazy day. What's everybody else doing on their lazy day? Wow.
A few great answers coming in to our text line this morning. We had Lori saying, my perfect day would be sleeping in, watching our show. Thank you, Lori. Of course, and playing games on my phone.
We renamed the show, Lori. It's okay. You'll catch up.
It's okay. Maybe order some food in. I am very much against skip the dishes. Last week on a lazy day, I ordered skip the dishes for the first time in years.
Oh, Janelle's doing all your ordering.
Yeah. And it was so nice to order food in. Michelle's saying my perfect lazy day would be to get up when I want, make my coffee, sit in front of the fireplace or YouTube version, put my feet up and read. Don't bother me. Don't talk to me. I'm in my other world and I want to do nothing but read and snack all day. Doesn't that sound perfect?
No, that's a lazy day.
Elizabeth got the name right.
There we go.
My lazy part of the day. It's having the first morning cup of coffee along with watching CTV, Your Morning Saskatchewan. Thank you, Elizabeth.
Thanks for pandering and your support.
Thank you for all of your answers today.
We'll take it.
This morning, 5-year-old Theo French is happy and healthy after undergoing a groundbreaking in utero surgery.
He's such a fantastic little man.
His parents, Macy Savage and Josh French, thankful to have their son home after Theo was diagnosed with gastroschisis at his 20-week ultrasound.
Gastroschisis is the most common congenital abdominal wall abnormality, and it's when babies are born with all of their intestines outside of their body.
His parents were told that his condition was complex and that it could lead to months in the NICU, multiple surgeries, and in some cases, death.
We were super anxious and scared and worried, and it's just a really difficult time for us as a family to process what the start of Theo's life was looking like it was going to be.
Doctors telling Macy and Josh about a first-of-its-kind clinical trial that could repair the condition before baby Theo was born. The couple, living in London, quickly traveling to Texas Children's Hospital for the surgery.
Usually around 26 weeks, we open up the mother's abdomen and we see the uterus. Instead of making a big incision into the uterus to get to the baby, we use this tiny keyhole surgery.
After the surgery,
how's it going?
Theo was able to grow and heal inside Macy's uterus before being born at full term.
He was delivered at term. By 2 days was on full feed, so taking full calories. And by day 3 was discharged from the hospital.
Theo and his parents forever grateful for this new lease on life.
He's doing all the things that a normal, healthy baby should be doing. He's shouting, he's screaming, he blows raspberries. It's just fantastic having him home.
Health Report, brought to you in part by SEIU West, Saskatchewan's first healthcare union.
Now we head back to Prince Albert and check in with Mike Siona, who has some tips on how to be ready for any emergency.
Well, we've been talking about first aid kits and first aid safety with Lyle Karasik at Parkland Ambulance this morning. If you were paying attention earlier, what did Lyle say is one of the most important things? You're right, the tourniquet, Lyle. All kidding aside, though, this could save someone's life.
Absolutely. In a severe bleed, this is going to be an essential piece of equipment that you're going to need. Commercial tourniquets, like the one I'm holding, are easy, but often people think of a tourniquet as that constricting band that I can use. Please, if you can, and if I can impart some advice to folks, is avoid something that's narrow, such as a shoelace on the farm, baler twine, narrow rope. Something wide, like your belt, will work well. All right, maybe it's a broad cloth. Those things can be improvised tourniquets versus a commercial one. So notice we have some width. If we use something narrow, often it cuts into the skin and it causes way more problems for those professionals that need to look after you after the fact.
Gotcha. That makes sense, because I was going to ask you, well, why not the narrow? But that answers that. And then where does this go?
Well, this goes above the wound. So, for example, if we've been on the farm and we've got a severe injury that's caused to this arm, we want to get this band high up onto the arm, and we need to get this snug so that the bleeding at this end stops. All right, so once the bleeding has stopped, then this is on tight, and that's it. Don't start taking it off. All right, leave it to the professionals. Wait till you get to the hospital. Whatever the case might be, they're going to deal with it, and they're going to do the fixing
Perfect. Okay, so that's the tourniquet explained in a little more detail. What else do we have? EpiPens and even something as simple as scissors.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Good pair of scissors is essential to your first aid kit. You often, I don't know about your house, but at our house, we're always looking at which drawer did they end up to. And so a good pair of scissors in the first aid kit, and keep them there. They're not craft scissors. No. They're not sewing scissors. They stay with the first aid kit. But an EpiPen, lots of people that are allergic to things, whether they are nuts, peanuts, whatever. You can get it from your local pharmacy. Sadly, they're not the most economical device, but they are the most life-saving. Really simple device. This is a trainer. As the commercial on TV suggests, blue to the sky, orange to the thigh. You pop the top off, you push and hold this. I'm going to use my arm because that's not the right spot, but for the magic of television, we'll use that today. You push, it clicks, and you're going to hold that to the count of 5, and then you're going to take this off.
Just that simple. And that's the nice thing. With the first aid kit, you can customize it to your own needs. Thanks, Lyle.
Promise me you will come back.
What if I can't?
Yes, indeed. That is a scene from The Odyssey, a huge hit and a long movie, and a movie that might have some viewers wondering, ooh, what if I had a really big gulp before I went to the theater? What if I had a coffee? What if I had a drink? And you might need to use the facilities. Well, Dan Gardner and Run P, a free app to the rescue, and Dan joins us today, the CEO, developer, and founder of this app. So first of all, thank you for spending some time with us today.
Oh, thank you so much for having me on.
So just so I don't misconstrue things, how do you describe your app?
It is the app that tells you the best time to run and pee during a movie without missing the best scenes.
And this has been, I was shocked when I just found out about this ever so recently. How long has this app been around? Because it's been a while.
Yeah, 18 years.
So it's been out for 18 years. Have you noticed a big upswing in its use since, it seems like a lot of, I'll say, mainstream movies or, big hits are, like over 2 hours long?
Yeah, it definitely fluctuates, but we've had a pretty consistent user base of give or take about 250,000. And, people come and go. And we've really recovered a lot since COVID.
But what was the genesis of this? Was it a personal experience that said, this is something we need?
So do you remember Peter Jackson's 2005 remake of King Kong?
Yes, I do.
3-hour movie?
Yeah.
That was my Rubicon. Yeah. That was where the idea came from.
So I'm guessing you had some discomfort during this 3-hour movie and you were looking for a solution.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I didn't run and pee, and I wish I had have.
How do you make this so precise? Because the precision with which you give your, I guess, suggestions of when it's time to run and pee, they're really precise. They're very detailed. So do you get screeners from the studios, or do you just have a team of really good stenographers?
Well, I wish we had screeners. We actually go to the movies just like everybody else. We're in line at the very first showing. And a lot of people think that this is probably like user-generated data, and nothing can be further from the truth, because we sit there, we take notes, we've got a timer. We time the pee time start to within 5 seconds, and then you get a notification about 30 seconds before that if you're using the timer.
This is a brilliant app, and I have to say, I'm shocked that I didn't know about it earlier on. This sounds like a lot of work. I know you've got a big team of family and friends who help you, but how do you monetize? How do you pay for this?
We just simply have donations.
Okay.
Since the app has been around for 18 years, I've tried pretty much every form of monetization, and what I've learned is just giving it away is really the best solution. If you love the app, you can help support us. If you don't, just use the app and share it with your friends. And that's the best support we can get.
All right. Hey, we're just out of time, Dan. Dan Gardner is the CEO, founder, and developer of Run P. It's an app. You can find it on the App Store. It is a wonderful service and a great app. So thank you so much, Dan. We appreciate your time today.
Oh, thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Are back in Washington this week for another round of trade talks. Industry sources tell CTV News Ottawa is considering making some concessions on U.S. autos and American alcohol. This in exchange for the U.S. dropping 50% tariffs set to take effect on the 19th. These new tariffs are coming even though Canada has already made concessions, such as scrapping the digital service tax and lifting some counter tariffs. Europe's Copernicus Climate Change Service says heat in Western Europe has hit a record this summer. The combined average in Western Europe was 21.62 Celsius in June and July. That tops the previous record set in 2022. At this point, 2026 isn't quite the hottest year on record, but the potential to catch up does remain. Intense heat in Western Europe has caused wildfires and droughts, along with some national temperature records. Since their introduction to Canada in the late 1980s, zebra mussels have been found everywhere else, but not in a Saskatchewan lake. With the very latest, what you need to know, here's Frugina de Kloot.
It hasn't been the best summer for those in the Match Lake community. First, they experienced flooding, only for potentially worse news to arrive.
We were informed a while ago that Lake of the Prairies, which is about 30 miles away, they discovered and it tested positive for zebra mussels.
This invasive species is from Eurasia. It first entered Canada through the Great Lakes in the late 1980s.
They're filter feeders, so what they'll do is they'll take out the phytoplankton, the zooplankton from the water, which then, reduce food availability for other native species.
Its presence also leads to algae blooms, clogs infrastructure intake pipes, and can ruin beaches and watercrafts.
Horror, to be quite honest. Real concern. People are very concerned. This is an invasive species that cannot be eradicated if it enters the water.
The government has made efforts since 2020 to stop the species from entering our water bodies through education and by setting up inspection stations at high-risk routes of entry.
So that station at Roxton, for example, most of the traffic that's coming on that highway is coming directly from Lake of the Prairies.
Match Lake is 60 kilometers away, so concerned residents took matters into their own hands by launching their One Boat, One Lake campaign on Wednesday.
We're giving them a sticker, and they signed a pledge that they will ensure that if they don't remain at Match Lake and they go to other lakes, they will have their watercraft decontaminated prior to coming back into Match Lake.
On Wednesday, there was already some foot traffic at the local rec hall, and McLean is hopeful that more will join.
It is not an exaggeration to say that many generations created fond memories of this lake, and it will take a unified effort to make sure that it remains zebra mussels free for future friends of Match Lake to enjoy. Frugina de Kloot, CTV News, Match Lake.
Now to the trial set to begin this morning in Las Vegas for the murder of Tupac Shakur 30 years after the legendary rapper was gunned down. Alex Stone reports.
Tupac Shakur was a hip-hop giant. The face of West Coast rap in the 90s, shot dead in Las Vegas that fateful night, September 7th, 1996. Today, Las Vegas prosecutors say they can prove the murder was orchestrated by one-time South LA gang leader Dwayne Davis, street name Keefy D.
Hey, Keith, Metro Police, come over here.
Davis, seen here being arrested in 2023 for Shakur's murder. He spoke exclusively to ABC News from inside jail.
I'm innocent. I ain't killed nobody, never did ever kill nobody. They don't have no evidence against me. Came and put me in Las Vegas.
But for years, Davis has boasted about his alleged involvement in Shakur's murder. He even published a book admitting to his role in it, a book he now says he didn't write. Davis now pleading not guilty to one count of murder.
And I'm being held against my will. I'm supposed to be out there enjoying my twilight.
Prosecutors allege Shakur and Death Row Records founder Suge Knight assaulted Davis's nephew, and then Davis set out for revenge. He and 3 others in a white Cadillac allegedly finding Shakur and Knight at a stoplight off the Vegas Strip. Shots were fired, Shakur dying within days. Prosecutors say while Davis did not fire the bullets, he provided the gun and ordered the hit. This morning, from prison, serving time in an unrelated case, Suge Knight telling ABC News exclusively he believes Davis will have a hard time convincing a jury his confessions were lies.
Everything he said and talked about, he already told on himself.
Now, for his part, Davis claims he's been lying all of these years to sell books and that he didn't have anything to do with the murder. Prosecutors want to prove he's been telling the truth. Jury selection could last all week. Alex Stone, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Sky gazers in for a treat this week. The Perseid meteor shower is back, and the best view is expected in the northern hemisphere. It will reach its peak Wednesday night into Thursday. NASA says people may see 50 to 100 meteors an hour in ideal conditions. Also happening this week is a total solar eclipse on Wednesday. People in Spain, Greenland, Iceland, and Russia will get the full view. Other parts of Europe, Northern Africa, and North America, including Toronto and Newfoundland, will get a partial view of that. So the question is, are we going to have clear skies? Because I saw some rain in the forecast.
Yeah, we definitely do have some rain in the forecast for all parts of Saskatchewan in the coming 7-day forecast. We're going to get into where, though, in just a second. Let's talk about current conditions right here in Regina. 10 degrees right now, mix of sun and cloud, and winds are very calm, only coming in at 4 kilometers per hour. At least that fog has lifted, though, that we were seeing from earlier on this morning. In Saskatoon, 13 degrees to wake you up. Winds are calm, and we're seeing mainly cloudy conditions. Winds are going to remain fairly low throughout the afternoon today. We're not really seeing them surpassing 30 kilometers per hour for really anywhere in the province today, so that's a treat. We're also starting to warm up because it was a very cool start to the day. 16 degrees now, though, in Stony Rapids and Buffalo Narrows, 14 in La Ronge, South End, Nipawin, and Prince Albert, 13 in Spiritwood and Hudson Bay, and 15 in Melfort. Down in the south, we're just seeing Assiniboia on our screen, still lingering in those single-digit temps. 9 degrees, 13 in Weyburn, now 15 in Estevan, 11 degrees in Moose Jaw, and 13 degrees in Kindersley. Into the afternoon, though, as we mentioned, some rain today. Right now, we're seeing that mainly throughout parts of northern and central Saskatchewan. So 20 degrees for the Battlefords with that rain today, 21 in Prince Albert and 21 in Saskatoon. Down towards the south, not as much of that rain, a little bit more sunshine, but we are still seeing quite a bit of cloud cover in some parts, right around Moose Jaw. 23 degrees there, 23 in Regina today as well, and 23 in Estevan. A little bit warmer in Weyburn and Swift Current, up to 24. But again, these numbers are below that average. So the average in Regina is 26.3, and the average in Saskatoon for this day is 25.6. Last year in Regina, 25.7 on this day, and last year in Saskatoon, 23.6. So we still were below that average, just a little bit closer to it. Not touching any records this week at all, with temperatures remaining below that average too. The record back in 1978 for Regina was 35.4 degrees, and in 1984 in Saskatoon, that record was 37.7. Here's a look at that 7-day forecast, though. So quite a few days where we are expecting some rain. We are also expecting right now to see some overnight tonight and into Tuesday morning, but it does clear up for the afternoon on Tuesday. It returns in the afternoon Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, with temperatures really dropping on Friday and getting a little bit more sunshine on the weekend. In Saskatoon, chance of rain, risk of thunderstorms tomorrow. A little bit more sunshine on Wednesday, though. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, expecting some rain with a mix of sun and cloud by Sunday.
I can tell.
Well, when it comes to mortgage renewals, the status quo may not be the way to go. We're talking about it with Affinity Credit Union's Megan Pilon. Megan, this is really our chance when we're up for a renewal to look at our entire financial picture?
Yeah, I would say it's just a nice reminder. You know, it's probably been 5 years since you've thought about your budget, when you've thought about your cash flow. Maybe, you know, your lifestyle's changed a little bit. If you're wanting to move, change homes, you know, maybe you've been really aggressive with your prepayment on your mortgage and now you have a lot of equity sitting there that you want to use towards something. So just a reminder to chat with your advisor, see what might be an option for you.
Yeah, for sure. Now, what about getting a reassessment on the house value itself? Because that can set up a host of other options, especially if it's been, say, 5 years.
Yeah, so if you don't already have a HELOC type product set up, at Affinity we call it our EQ authorized limit, and that basically means that we get an appraisal done on the property. Whatever that appraised value is, we can lend up to 80% of it and have that cap sitting there for you. So as your mortgage gets paid down, you can always lend back up to that 80 and use it for other projects or investments if you want it to be that way.
Nice. And then the nice thing there is whatever rate you settle on becomes the rate. So you could take what might otherwise be a higher interest purchase.
Yeah. So, you know, for example, our bare land pricing is higher than our primary home pricing. So if you have your eyes set on like a lake lot and you have the equity in your primary home, you're better off to use that primary home, set up a second mortgage that's, you know, actually for that new property you want to buy.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, lots of stuff to consider. And I mean, a lot of people just look and open it up and it's rate, circle the lowest and go. But that might not be the best solution?
No, I would say it's a good idea to think about what product you want to, because not all fixed rate products are the same. We have two main ones. One has, you know, the lowest interest rate you're going to get. And if your plan is to just make your payments and not think about your mortgage for 5 years, that's probably the option for you. But we have another option where the rates are a little bit higher, but the flexibility on your repayment is almost unlimited. So if your plan is to get that mortgage paid down, you want to throw extra payments on because you get a bonus, you know, every few months through work and you want it to go straight to your mortgage, then that might be a better option. And even though that rate's higher, it might actually save you interest because you're able to get that principal paid down quicker.
Right, makes sense. And what about transfers? It never hurts to go shopping, right? You've got some great deals? Yeah,
of course. So, you know, if your mortgage isn't already at Affinity, but it's sounding like one of these products is right for you, you might be eligible for up to $1,750 in fee coverage. So if that appraisal needs to be covered, the title transfer fees will kind of fall under that program. And, you know, it might not cost anything for you to get over and into a product that fits for you.
Perfect. Well, there you go. Thank you very much for this, Megan. Of course, you can find her and the entire team at mortgages.affinitycu.ca.
Every Thursday in August, the Wascana Outdoor Pool in Regina is offering extended hours, giving those who don't get a summer holiday the opportunity to make a splash. McFavel tells us more.
Jillian Kimmins has a lane to herself, getting a few laps in at Wascana Pool. Thanks to extended hours, the crowds are long gone and swimmers get to experience a calm sunset at poolside.
I find it really cool and fun, especially since it's not as busy. Like, I know Wascana gets really busy at like 5 o'clock, so when it's like here, it's nicer because you can go and you don't have to wait in a long line.
Late night swims are scheduled every Thursday in August. This is the fourth year the pool has extended hours, giving all family members an opportunity to experience a summer pastime.
It's nice because we work during the day and she's at daycare, and so it's nice being able to come after supper, and I don't get to enjoy the hot tub during the day because it's too hot.
Aside from when the pool is being cleaned, the lights are usually not on at night, making it quite the sight from College Avenue and Wascana Lake. The pool is equipped with lights suitable and safe for night swimming.
When it gets to around dusk, we do a safety check. If we find that it's too dark, we'll always adjust it, and we are monitoring it throughout the swim. So if we notice that there are any deficiencies in any of our zones, then we're able to adjust the lighting accordingly.
Evening temperatures have been cooler lately, making a stop at the hot tub a must between laps and dives. Despite that, late night swims are a great addition to summer activities in Regina.
It's really fun because we don't get this opportunity unless you're somewhere hot like the States or something, and I really enjoy it.
Well, it's kind of nice because then I know I don't have to get rushed out, and
I like swimming in the dark, and my mom will never let me do that.
For those looking to attend the next night swims, everything at the pool will be available, including the diving boards, water slide, and hot tub. Mick Favel, CTV News, Regina.
Why do we say that? We're going to find out why we say one of those normal, common, everyday sayings, the history behind it, with our expert who we've located. Elephant in the room. Why do we say elephant in the room, Jeremy Dodge?
Why? Well, I mean, we know what it means. Yeah. I'm not sure where it may have originated from.
The circus.
That's what I thought too. Yeah.
Clear. It's a pretty clear metaphor, right? I mean, it's the big topic, the big thing, overarching that everybody notices, but tend to ignore because they maybe just don't want to deal with it. I have no idea where the first uttering of that term was.
Any guess besides circus? That's where I'm going, Killian.
Elephant in a room makes me think of circus, because why would an elephant be inside? So I have to think it has some sort of circus connection.
Noel, tell us what it means. Oh.
Well, Jeremy's actually inside the studio, so maybe he's the elephant in the room, so to speak. But as far as where it actually comes from, it's from old circus times when they couldn't actually hide an elephant. They just ignored it until it was time for the elephant to be in the circus. Kind of a problem that no one will talk about, the elephant in the room.
Fiona, they didn't tell me he was ready and standing by with an answer. Okay, now let's go to our expert from the University of Regina. Why do we say elephant in the room?
Okay, this phrase is actually quite modern, but it's got kind of an interesting history. Its first usage comes actually from philosophy. There was a book from 1935 that makes a reference to not being able to prove something just by observation. So you can't by observation prove that there isn't an elephant in the room because you can't observe something that isn't there. Okay. It also tended to mean something outlandish or inappropriate that you bring into an argument. And the explanation that I think of is if you're talking about some law that violates a human right, to say, well, this is just like the Holocaust. It's, it's sort of big and it's emotional and it's huge and you can't really deal with it and it's not really appropriate to the discussion. So that seems to be the origin of the phrase. And then a little bit later on, it came to mean something very obvious that can't be ignored. And that no one's talking about. And so the way that I like to use it, because I use that phrase fairly often, is a way of introducing a topic that, has to be discussed, but nobody really wants to. And that usage seems only to have started around the 1980s. So it's a fairly modern phrase, and I think it's sort of a very obvious idea about trying to address something that everybody can see and everybody knows it's there, but doesn't really want to talk about it.
And a little bit up for debate, but the 80s, so a more recent one than some of our recent ones. That's why do we say that for this day on Monday.
It's a brand new day, which means another brand new sleigh.
I'm Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, brand new day, slinging its way to the biggest opening week in box office history.
Oh yeah? No way, that's crazy.
Becoming the fastest film to reach $500 million domestically, with no signs of slowing down as it rolls into its second week in theaters.
This thing really meant something to me, made me feel something. It's everything I wanted it to be and more.
The fan frenzy, turning Queens, New York resident Jack Shee into the recipient of countless letters from Spidey fans around the world. Why? He lives at the address of Peter Parker and Aunt May in the comic book series, even labeled as Spider-Man's home on Google Maps. And all that fan hype is now turning Tom Holland into an unlikely hair hero, too. Entertainment Tonight dubbing this hot curl summer, thanks to Peter Parker, with searches on TikTok for men's curly hairstyling ideas soaring 210% this week alone. From his hair to his feed, Tom's old social posts also going viral, as fans share his old pictures from his pre-Spidey days. Party Time 13 years ago, or this action shot which foreshadowed his high-flying adventures back in 2012. But now 30-year-old Tom has come a long way, including down the aisle with Zendaya. People magazine reporting the couple held a wedding celebration in the UK this week after privately marrying earlier this year.
Who do you think is actually watching these?
Maybe someone.
Okay, well, bye someone.
The billion-dollar duo celebrating their love with loved ones at the luxury Beaverbrook Hotel in Surrey on Tuesday, according to People.
Tom Holland's three brothers were there. We hear that they wore black tuxedos for the event and that it was a glorious celebration involving family and friends.
The 470-acre estate near Holland's hometown advertises romance and style that pays tribute to its glamorous past. No word yet on if this is the glamorous past they're alluding to.
Well, you may... Oh, were you going to say something?
No.
Oh, okay. You may not be able to teach an old dog new tricks, but you can teach a new dog some old tricks.
August is National Dog Month, and this morning, Danny New has an update over a very special four-legged friend.
I'm here and dig.
We have an update on a story we brought you in the spring about a gigantic Newfoundland named Chewy and his 96-year-old best pal, Barb.
It's really my dog. I hope she knows that she realizes it's my dog.
After warming millions of hearts around the world while they gardened together, Barb has sadly passed away. Her granddaughter, Amy, who lives next door with Chewy and her family, says it was very sudden and likely from pneumonia.
We were really upset about it, but you know, she was 96. She lived a long, happy, healthy life. So I rest easy knowing that.
And we know she felt the love. Just a few weeks before Barb passed, Amy opened up a mailbox for her and Chewy to hear from their many fans. And as you can see, the letters and packages were seemingly endless.
Even though it was the last 2 weeks of her life, she still would read those letters to Chewy. Yeah, it was wonderful.
Chew, you gonna come out of the bathtub today, buddy?
But when this sudden loss came, Amy says Chewy was so sad he spent much of the day in the bathtub. They knew they had to do something.
Chewy, look!
The family sprung into action and adopted a Newfoundland puppy named Mabel, which was Barb's middle name.
So then we came up with the idea to get him a baby, a puppy. And he fell in love with her.
What are you guys doing?
Over the past few weeks, Chewy has been showing Mabel the ropes, including the essential duty of leading Amy's children to the bus stop. Now, Amy says they are basically inseparable. Even enjoying sunsets together, too, just like Barb and Chewy used to do.
He just softens up for her. It's really cute.
Danny New, ABC News, New York.
Good little pups there.
Yeah, cute.
Wow. Let's show you some pizzeria in Edmonton in Sidebar. Here's a pun that was written by someone that isn't me, and I love it. Get ready, you're about to be Giuseppe'd.
Yeah.
One reason right now I could say why we're still treading water, we're keeping afloat, is because we can get these people coming in from out of town, because a lot of people in Edmonton just don't want to be downtown right now.
The restaurant has gained close to 70,000 TikTok followers with videos like the one you saw off the top. They're calling it Getting Giuseppe'd. The 22-seat restaurant is in Edmonton and says it's getting new customers now from all over the world thanks to their social media reach. It's called bait and switch advertising, meant to reel in average doom scrollers. So that's why you see the lady on the dock getting followed. Yeah. And then boom, there's the restaurant. It just has nothing to do. One has nothing to do with the other.
Okay, but horrible things happening to people is what you want to associate with your restaurant?
You want dollars, and it's helping keep them profitable.
Hey, I'm all for whatever works for local businesces. We can see the power of social media with Elle's Cafe here on a local level.
Beautiful day in Regina, Saskatchewan. Every day.
Yeah.
What else you got?
This is what we call fast food.
Being into a storefront that's charging anywhere from $8,000 to $20,000 a month. I want to make sure people are enjoying the product.
So this is Bradley. He runs what could be New York's smallest pizzeria. The Pizza Pod is operated entirely out of the back of a car in the trunk. Not the usual things you'd find back there. Instead, it's olive oil, sauce, cheese, you know. He also has a portable generator to power the mini ovens that he needs, so he can just pull up to any street corner he wants.
Hey, that's pretty ingenious.
It is.
I like it.
Food on the go.
But how would you know on any given day where it is?
That's
Does he have a locator?
Well, it's like food trucks.
He must have,
yeah, you gotta pick it.
Yeah, he must have, and he must have some sort of presence on
yeah,
the social
come find me
media.
today on the corner of blank and blank.
Exactly, exactly. JD, how about you take us to a Cubs game?
All right, yeah, this game where C stood for Cubbies and Cookies.
Let me hear ya!
Yeah, Cookie Monster leading Take Me Out to the Ball game during the Wrigley Field stretch on National Cookie Day. So it was perfect.
A T is for timeout. We'll be back tomorrow.